So my OBS crashed. And I also just realized the thing that probably made it crash, I probably don't need. So... Alright, let's continue.
That's where their customers are. In many places, data center water demands put too much additional stress on local reservoirs already in risk of depletion. Every fifth data center resides close to water sources that are moderately or highly stressed. Nearly half of data centers are fully or partially powered by plants residing in water-stressed regions. When operators tackle the issue of cooling, they can choose from two options. They can go for air cooling, which is energy intensive but doesn't require a lot of water. Or they can choose evaporative cooling, which does use a lot of water but saves electricity and carbon neutral goals are easier to reach. For most data center operations, the choice is clear. Even in the most arid and water-stressed regions, evaporative cooling is going to be cheaper, even if it means tapping into declining reservoirs of
Thanks,
fresh water.
Tyler.
About 57% of water used for data center cooling is coming from potable water sources that are shared with agriculture, cities, and households. While many companies will point to fringe cases of using sewage, recycled, or seawater for cooling, these are often only rare.
Someone joined the chat. I'm afraid to talk.
In Arizona, one of the states dependent on Lake Mead and the Colorado River, the data center
We're supposed to be
industry
starting in
is
4
booming.
minutes. Like,
The
starting
state decided
testing
to
and
become
stuff.
the
So,
next
or,
hub
like,
of
testing our
Silicon
cams
Tech
and mics and all that.
and began enacting policies to attract big investors. Companies are promised millions in tax credits and easy access to fresh water for cooling if they settle in their business parks. This is what attracted Apple, Google, Facebook, and many others to expand their operation in one of the hottest and driest states in the country. But the people of Arizona are already paying the price.
No, the
Chandler is
the
single data
Discord
center
chat
consumes
that
all the
I'm
water
joining for
allocated
the
to
panel.
entire business park, forcing everyone else to find water elsewhere or settle for other cooling methods. Arizonians are beginning to worry as the Colorado River
And thank you,
basin
Tyler. I know
lost
my stream
18% of
crashed.
its flow, threatening water security in the state. People are complaining that data centers are not sustainable as households are told to reduce their water usage. The state is losing the battle to conserve their water, as their efforts will fail to achieve the safe yield by 2024. Too many new users are allowed to pump groundwater, while the demand for surface water is increasing beyond sustainable levels.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
situation
Tyler.
has
It's a
escalated
great
so
idea.
fast, they're close to
Get me
banning
kicked off
new
the
data
fucking
center
panel.
development in the region. Texas is another example of data centers exhausting local water resources. In Red Oak, Google is requesting 1.46 billion gallons of water a year for their new data center. The Elise County, which includes Red Oak and 20 other towns, consumes about 15 billion gallons. So a single Google data
They keep
center
saying Red
requires
Oak, and I'm like, Red Oak
50%
Apartments?
of all the allocated water in the region. This isn't a unique case. In South Carolina, Google also draws about 1/10 of the total 40 million gallon daily surface water allocation
Holy
for their only
fuck.
data center in the state. The 3 counties around Charleston also pump over 11 million gallons per day from a local aquifer, from which Google requested to pump additional 1.5 million gallons. The local utility eventually had to deny Google's request for the aquifer because the water from the underground reservoir is already depleting. Much of this reporting is shrouded in secrecy. While some big tech companies are bursting
I like the red lights. It's
they
shrouded
silent
in
their
secrecy.
water consumption. Neither Google nor Microsoft attribute their water consumption to data centers, and they only report on water used for cooling, not energy generation. Amazon, for a change, doesn't publish water figures at all. When Google struck a deal with a small city council in Oregon to build 2 more data centers,
They don't
how
have
much
to?
water
That's
they would
crazy.
use remained confidential. Why? Because Google considers their water consumption a trade secret. They will sue anyone trying to disclose it. In South Carolina, Google
Really?
sued a local water utility under a non-disclosure agreement to keep them quiet about their usage. In
Oh,
Arizona,
alright.
Facebook
We're getting in the
negotiated
stream. Hold on.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Bonjour.
Oui, oui.
Hello, I'll be there in a minute.
Hello?
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 My camera's
Hello.
not working.
Well? Hello?
Hello? Dana? There you go.
You keep saying hello. Good meme. We'll just have a 3-hour panel and everyone saying hello.
Hello?
Hey, there we
Hello?
go.
Hello? Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
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 Do we?
Howdy.
We're just Discord video, yeah.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, we've decided against Whereby.
I'm gonna BRB.
We got like 50 minutes, everyone's early.
I put the
You're not-
kettle on. Hello.
Put the kettle on.
Hello.
I'm making coffee, but it's from a packet.
I decided noodles over coffee. I don't know if this was a good choice or not.
Yeah.
No one else just woke up.
Negative.
Yeah.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah, but it's like 5 p.m. for you, so it's a little bit like, are you okay? Versus for
No.
me, it's 8:30, so I'm kind of allowed to.
I'm living my life.
Geek, stop playing the game and get ready.
Get ready,
I
geek.
am ready.
No, where's the overlay?
True.
Where's your timer?
True.
In my hand.
Yo, I need like a stream mom. Dana, will you come help me? Like get my overlay and all my stuff ready.
Mommy?
Yeah, mommy.
Sorry.
Sorry, mommy. Sorry.
Wow. Just because
Tyler,
I'm a
don't be
stay-at-home dad
weird.
doesn't mean you don't have to emasculate me. Come on.
Sorry.
Are we using Whereby for video?
No.
Discord only.
Wow. I just asked that.
You know what?
How's everybody doing today?
I'm excited.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Hey, I like your room with the blue lights. I don't know why it's just showing me your cam, but you. I like that.
Thank you.
Looks good. Oh, there's everybody. Oh, look at you, other guy. You're kind of handsome.
Oh, thanks.
Wait, does guy work? He, him pronouns?
Sure.
Is that cool?
Yes.
For...
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Chill.
Does that
What
work for
about-
you as well?
What about you? Honest research? Do you prefer
Call me
he,
whatever you
him, they,
want.
them?
Yeah.
Any and all? Okay,
Any and
cool.
all.
Sweet.
Trix, what about you?
I
I
think
changed my
yeah,
name.
so you
did
just
it, yeah.
you just changed it, yeah.
See where it's going.
Kettle's done.
Also,
Yeah, that's
I'd
going
like
to
to.
confuse the crap out of me, Trex. Thanks.
I'd like to ask the moderators in advance.
Yeah.
If pronouns are messed up, like a severe. Is that Montreal?
Yeah.
I miss that guy.
If you misgender someone on purpose, you get kicked. If you just
Yep.
slip up, you're fine.
Nah, if you slip up, corporal punishment.
Yeah.
Damn, now I'm just trying to slip up.
Hey,
Fuck.
look.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is it? I forget. Mr. Peanut Butter.
Yeah, Mr. Peanut
Yeah,
Butter.
I saw that. Oh my god, I was so stoked when I saw that in the group chat.
BoJack is money. It's a pretty good show.
Hell yeah.
I didn't see the last season. It's Does it hold up?
Yes. It is
That's right.
amazing, as JLP would say. Fucking amazing.
Wait.
The last season's the best season.
Is it?
Yeah, all of my favorite episodes from the last season. I don't know how you haven't seen it.
That's true, but I wish they would have ended it before the last episode.
Oh yeah, second last episode is where you stop watching.
Anytime a show is not released all simultaneously. I mean, I guess that's BoJack was released the last season all at once, right?
All at once, yeah.
Okay.
It was Netflix.
Ooh, man.
I just in between seasons I get bored and forget that I'm even watching a show.
Actually, let me just unplug this. Just drop that shit.
You all right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to readjust my camera for like the best possible angle. Shit, son.
Looks good. I like the green light.
Mic check. Are we good?
Montreal.
You guys hear me
Here we
fine?
go.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
All right. Great stuff.
All right.
I'll
I
be
guess
right
I should
back.
go.
I'm gonna get the other side of my light working.
100%. So we'll go with you right here.
I'm gonna go let the dogs in and put pants on. How much time do we have? 10 minutes? We're good.
10.
Do we need both Monties in? Oh, he's gone.
There it goes.
Anytime I hear Monty, my brain thinks of Montgomery Gator from Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'm like Monty.
Don't know if that's relatable for anyone else.
No.
No, I got you. I got you.
Negative.
Oh, we're just waiting for CTV. Okay. He'll be here. We've got 10 minutes. We're very early. This is bizarre. Okay. So,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Would it be possible to drag in that other account of mine so I can
Can,
broadcast?
but Geek,
Thank you.
hide users without cameras on your overlay, Geek.
Yeah, exactly. Don't show non-video participants.
That thing.
That's
Yeah.
what that button does.
Hey, where's the button?
Listen,
Top
Danabo, you
right,
don't
the
tell
three
me what
little
to do.
dots.
Thank you.
I just did.
No?
What are we gonna do? Do you want to play the kick game?
Yes. No, we need to wait. We need to wait for the end. Last topic for that.
Should I
Alright.
label them? Because, like, you can't keep the names up. That's so annoying.
Or when I'm going to read the topic wrong.
If we need a bonus topic, Andre and I have thought of one in depth.
Why did that just...
If you require.
We got a pretty good one, but I don't know what's yours.
Ours is how Twitch streamers using copyrighted shit just to watch and then like react.
Fuck yes! Yes! Let's
is
talk about
related
it,
to-
please!
Let's talk about the Viacom and Google $1 billion lawsuit that everyone's ignoring, and how a year ago on Twitch people used to be scared to listen to music, and now it's MasterChef time, baby.
Yeah, no.
And they're like, oh yeah, but that $1 billion lawsuit, that will not come back to hit us at all. We're gonna completely ignore that. And I think that Pokemon getting banned is the best thing that could have happened to kind of bring this
Well,
back down.
let's save it for if the topic comes up.
It's all I've been thinking about for us, like, since it happened.
No, honestly, same.
Yeah, well, what exactly did she do to get banned? What was she watching?
She was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender
Oh,
full
that's why
screen
everyone
on
kept
stream,
talking
and just
about
sitting there watching it. Nothing transformative.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "How did the copyright get me?"
Wait, was she watching it on, like, Netflix?
I think Netflix doesn't has a thing, so you can't like stream it. I think she had a disc or something.
That ancient technology.
Throwback.
She was not watching it on a disc. No one does. It's not a thing. No one has discs. I don't know how she was watching it though, but definitely we're hijacking. I know this is your show, Geek, but about an hour and a half, probably gonna.
No.
Listen, Danabo, you're not my dad. I'm doing what I want.
Muted.
He's your mother.
Yeah, apparently he's a mommy. No, it doesn't work, babe. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute my mic.
Did you?
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Calling down a babe. All right.
Hey, I like those shades. Those are cool as fuck, huh? You're muted, shades.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
It
you.
did work, thank you.
AIDS. I want a nickname apart from Mummy.
That's your nickname,
Sorry.
Mom.
Oh.
Denied.
Danabo, were you there? I was hanging out with your buddy CTV.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He-
everybody
he'll-
was like,
He'll be in soon, by the way.
Everybody, is he on the panel today?
He's a co-host.
Why? I did.
You mean why?
Why? Because Andre
find-
wasn't available.
Because Geek doesn't say a word.
Because I say no.
Exactly.
So I hopped on his show, and he did a lot of karaoke. It was interesting.
Yo, I'd be so down for karaoke.
Yeah, but like if you just have to listen to the host sing, it's not as fun, right? It's like when it's my turn, CTV.
No, I don't
when it's my
care.
turn.
I'd sit there and watch CTV sing all night.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would.
Whoa. So we're not on.
I might not
Okay.
agree with him on a political level, but that dude is a good time. All right.
All right, well, I'm gonna wait for him to get in here to talk shit about him, but I'm gonna talk shit.
No, talk shit about himself.
It's noble of you.
I'm not behind his back.
Sorry about that.
It's okay, dude.
How many people do we have total on these things?
4v4.
Right. Okay.
What are the teams?
Me versus everybody.
The colors of my lights kind of tells it. It's mostly blue, but there's a little red in there. So
Monty's
Nice.
definitely a right winger. So.
Well played.
Oh, no.
Noodles were too spicy.
Nothing will like ever like is more of a like translation problem than the fact that in Australia the blue party that is called that is called the Liberals are like the most right wing bitches you will ever meet. And every time I'm like, no, they're not like that. They're better.
look, America first and only. Okay.
And we do 2 hours. There he is. And then we do 2 hours and then the food topic, right? Is that the plan?
Yep.
Yeah, about
CTV
that.
guy, critically thinking veteran. He's
We
wild.
we
but he's
might
a
get
good
to it
time.
quicker. We'll see.
Gotcha.
If you
Like
all
Tyler,
agree
you're,
that
you're
vaccine
gonna like
mandates are
CTV.
good, we just move on.
He's chill.
All right, next topic.
We'll see about that.
We go straight to the new topic.
Straight to Pokemon.
You better not.
I'm gonna. Are you gonna? You must be prepared to mute me because I'm doing it.
I will.
This is why Andre hasn't been invited back to Twitch politics sooner.
That's not true at all. They asked me to host this thing. They begged me. Dana Bo offered me lots of money. Unfortunately, I had to turn it down.
What? Okay, yeah, of course I did. When I get paid, you'll get paid, all right?
Okay.
All right, everything's still working? Yeah.
Nah. No, we can't hear you.
No.
No.
Perfect.
Give me one, Tyler, and I'll say it.
Does Dylan make enough to? There's too many panelists, right? Even if Dylan was making Hassan money. Well, no. If he made Hassan money, he could pay panelists, right?
If he was making a son money, yeah.
Yeah. But he's making like Walmart money, so there's no way, right?
Yeah. Ish. Yeah.
You mean like Walmart?
There he
general
is,
manager,
there he
or, like,
is.
Walmart greeter, door greeter.
Oh.
On the new wages, at least. Yeah.
Tyler, it's got to be relevant.
And then
at
if he
least.
had the money, who would he pay for? He would have to pay like Geek. Who's second in command? Is it Geek or Danabo? Or do you guys have to arm wrestle over who's Popper's favorite?
I don't even work for Dylan.
That's what you say, but you're here like doing work for Dylan, right?
No, he does work for me.
All right, we gotta talk
CTV
about.
doesn't pay me, I vote.
CTV,
that is a wonderful
mastermind
shirt.
of Twitch politics.
Nobody
No.
pays me. Somebody pay me.
CTV.
Anyway.
Now that we're not on your stream, we got to talk about your karaoke.
We've got 2 minutes. I'm gonna jump out. Everybody have a good night. Who's in
Bye.
general?
Bye.
Everybody important, right?
You as well.
Hey Trix, how are you, hon?
Bye, mom.
Hi.
Stop it.
So
Bye.
did you like that karaoke, Andre?
No, because what makes karaoke fun is that everybody gets to sing. But if you just have to sit and watch the host sing, it's kind of whack.
Oh, it's kind of whack whenever I'm sitting here, then everybody has to get stopped by me because they just created this fucking loud roar,
True.
and the audience can't even hear anything
True.
either, right? So
Well,
I'm going to be equally as annoying
That's fair.
as the fucking participants have been to me. That's kind of
I was
how I
thinking-
look at it.
Hosting a panel show is not worth it. I would not recommend it.
Hmm. You got to bring something new and fresh to the environment. I don't know.
Nobody's doing that though, right?
Is that pronounced?
Like,
Yeah,
is that
I know.
panel show
He's
that's like-
awesome.
Exactly. That makes it new and
Is that
fresh.
pronounced Volkswagen?
The karaoke makes it new and fresh, or
Yeah.
that's fair.
Are we
yeah.
allowed to do karaoke on Twitch? I saw like
Yeah.
someone that was like a ventriloquist doing it on Friday night, and I was like, holy shit, we're allowed to do that?
Well,
Not only can you do that, you can watch Avatar. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe
Changed with
maybe we should
time.
save that topic for later.
Yeah, you didn't even
Yeah.
tell them the best part, Andre, though, is that I was singing Conway Twitty.
Oh, is Conway Twitty overrated or what? Ugh, yuck.
Overrated? Are you kidding me?
I mean, I wasn't gonna shit in your house, but yeah, that's. I mean,
I don't know, man. All the ladies like it whenever I'm singing. I'd love to lay you down.
there was no ladies in there. Well, was there? What's her name?
Yes.
They're looking in the background, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm just looking at Wolfie.
And my
Gordon,
wife in the
she's
background,
like-
she'll
she's
watch
like-
the VOD
she's
later.
looking
You
at you
know.
like,
She's
okay.
shaking her head no. She does not like
Yeah.
Conway.
Sweetheart, do you like it when I sing Conway Twitty to you?
Don't lie to him. Don't fucking lie to him.
Wait, what?
She said no. She was like,
Come here.
no.
Come here.
She said no fucking shot.
But that should be for me and no one else.
Ah, there you go. Good answer. Good answer.
Oh, listen at her.
Honestly, that is the most humanitarian take we're gonna hear all day. She doesn't want any of us to suffer, and I respect your wife for that. That's tight.
Mm. So you know that's why people can't get too rowdy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Tyler, go fuck yourself.
They shut me up.
All right. And for once, for the first time in a long time, I think we're going to start in time. It's 6 p.m.
2022
all
geeks,
across.
New Year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, first show of New Year, we're starting on time. Welcome, everyone. I'm really happy to be here tonight. I hope you are as well. Welcome to the Hippy Dippy Recruitment. So, Hippy Dippy Recruitment, every Sunday, 6 p.m. EST. The main show hosted by Dylan every Friday, 8 p.m. EST. So, yeah, tune in if you like panel, if you like Bloodsport, if you like politics, if you like CTV, you know, you find all of these things. So, yeah. Let's start with a quick round of intros. So, yeah, tell people who you are, where they can find you, and everything. And we're going to start with someone I haven't seen in a long time. How are you doing, Trix?
I'm good. I just work all the time, so I'm not really active much. I'm Australian. It's 9 in the morning for me at the moment.
I'm on the side of an
And,
Australian.
my city finally has COVID, so I can finally talk about stuff. I know what the masks are now. I know what the vaccine things are. I get it. I get it. After 2 years. I'm ready.
Wow. Happy that your city got COVID. That's a hard take to start with. Hey, for Andre, how are you doing?
Eek, how have you been? It's been a long time since I've done like an official panel. I've hopped into like CTVs, but I'm super happy to be back in this space, especially with you. My favorite host, my favorite. I'm just doing this for you and Dana, Bo. Really, I'm glad. I miss you guys. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, always happy to have you on. You
I think
know?
it's French.
So yeah, Buzz and Joystick.
Hey,
Sorry,
guys.
I saw you changed your name.
Yeah. Well, my channel's called Bars and Joysticks, and my channel mates get really mad at me when people just call me Taj Ben John. I'm Taj Ben John, but like my channel's
I'm gonna
Bars and
nickname
Joysticks.
myself my name.
So I'm pretty much social democrat. My channel goes over things like hip hop, video games, music. That's hip hop bars, you know, and joysticks, video games, and also like bar for bar, like going bar for bar with people, exchanging ideas and things like that.
That's pretty cool. And where can people find you?
Yeah, so on Twitch, our channel is called Bars and Joysticks, and in our YouTube channel, which you put significantly more effort in, it's called Bars and Joysticks on YouTube.
All right. Okay. Happy to have you on board. Montreal player. Montreal player.
Oh, hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Montreal player. Father of 3 vaxxed teens and father of 1 unvaxxed 6-year-old. You can find me at twitch.tv/Montreal
Can 6-year-olds get the vax?
I usually have chill chats with people somewhere around 9:30 to 11 o'clock, and that's it. I'll bring my experience and as far as what relates to the situation in Quebec. All right, if you want to make jokes about
5 years.
people in Quebec, well, and you also chastise people for making ethnic jokes, you're a hypocrite and a bigot. Other than that, welcome. All right, that's it. That's my little intro.
Okay.
All right. Honest Research. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. My name is, I go by Luke Ryan online. Pronouns, whatever you want. I really don't mind. And I am here on Twitch at Honest Research, and if you donate to me, it goes directly to my nonprofit to help homeless in my community. So, there you go.
That's pretty cool. If you want, you can post the link in my chat or in the group for people who want to plug that in.
Cool, I appreciate
that's
that.
pretty
Thanks.
dope. Mind of Foes, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
What's up? So as you can
Fuck,
tell,
I
my
got
bear's
nervous as
going
shit,
crazy in
dude.
the background. I apologize for that. But
I've been
I'm
saying
the
it
Mind
all
of
day,
Z.
and I
I
just got so
stream
nervous.
on the Mind of Z or the U.S. political server because I like to keep one chat civil, one chat non-civil. LOL. And yeah, I'm a good friend of CTV's.
That means he likes to keep all chats on
Hell
civil,
yeah.
just to be clear.
So I've been pronouncing your name wrong.
He just
so
likes
for
to
some
go
reason,
and
I
fuck with
always
people in
thought this
civil
was
chats.
Mind of Us. But yeah.
No,
anyway.
no. So it's funny. So everyone does it. I'm debating about just changing my name to the Mind of Oz just to make everyone happy. It annoys me, but whatever.
All right. Volp, how are you doing?
Good. How are you? So you can find me at Hoodie Volp on Twitch and Twitter. I like to chat about politics and play some video
hope I'm not gonna be
games. So
this
this is gonna be
nervous
my
the entire
first
time. I'm
real
also
Twitch
cold.
panel, so I'm really excited. Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you on board. All right. So are we missing someone?
Somebody opted out.
Oh,
Now they're back.
Montreal. Okay. So
I will be.
yeah, I
I'll be
think
right
I
back.
did pretty
That's my
much.
background.
Yep, that's everybody.
Pretty much everyone besides the main boss for the conservative. How are you doing, CTV?
Oh, I'm doing outstanding, Geek.
know
How
what?
was your weekend?
Maybe not take a hit.
Doing okay. You know.
Good,
Work and
good,
stuff.
good. You got a great cast of characters here tonight. Let me explain to you what's going to be going on tonight. This is, in fact, the Hippy Dippy Recruitment Show, right? You have an
I appreciate
opportunity
that
here
follow,
to be
thank
able
you.
to bring
Oh, Andre,
a
what's up, dude?
character into the Hippy Dippy world and make it alive, right? You get to be something other than yourself in this sphere. That's the great fucking thing about it, right? You get to be an actor on the Hippy Dippy stage. Understand, there are two teams here. There are conservatives, right? And then there, or the right and the left. Fucking, yeah. The right and the left as a fucking broad brush, right? A broad fucking brush for you to be able to understand what your team is, right? So whenever the people in the audience are watching the show, that's what they see. So you may not like somebody that's on your fucking team.
Might just be
Well, you
shooting
know
'cause I'm
what?
nervous.
I don't know what to fucking tell you. Get over your fucking self and fucking fight this shit out. That being said, welcome. I know that we've got some good topics tonight. The first one's going to be kind of lighthearted to get you comfortable with everybody in the room. But don't forget, when that second topic comes around, there's going to be people waiting to smack you upside the head. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, I've seen it after a whole fucking year of doing this shit. Somebody is going to be out there chasing that clout. You know why? Because they're in the fucking hippy dippy arena, baby. That's what we do around here.
I want that
And
belt.
it ain't nobody got more than me. So let's fucking go. Let's get into it. It's going to be motherfucking great. Happy to see everybody. Geek, let's kick it off.
Hell yeah, let's go. So before we start with the first topic, let's go around with the rules and everything. So we're gonna have one fun topic, one serious topic in the middle, and one fun topic to end on a good note. Each topic will go like this. You're gonna have an opening statement, 2 minutes max. I'm going to get the timer soon. So yeah, opening statement, period where you can engage, where you can debate with each other, and closing statement. The last time you can address a topic is during the opening of the next topic. Do not interrupt during opening and closing. And if you want to talk during like the open part and you see that you can chime in, raise your hand and I will try to give you the mic.
Dude, I'm nervous as fuck.
As
I'm
soon
gonna
as
do
possible.
so bad. I can already tell.
Besides that, nothing TOS. I think we all want to keep our channels and yeah, respects everyone's identity. So yeah, pronouns and stuff like that. With that being said, let's jump into the first topic. And I hope you're ready for this one. All right. Pokemon. Bulbasaur is the undisputed greatest of all time starter Pokemon.
Babe, give me my
Is
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur a frog, a turtle, a dinosaur, or something else entirely?
Babe, give me my Bulbasaurs.
All right. And we're going to start with A for Andre.
Oh, what a nice topic to have. It's so cool. I feel it's tailor-made to me. For those of you who don't know, I ditched politics to open up a pretty lucrative Pokemon card shop. Long story. Yeah, but one thing I talk about on my stream that I'm sure about, more sure than any of my other political takes, is that Bulbasaur is a frog, and that the name Saur, indicating that he's a dinosaur, is disingenuous at best, if I'm being charitable, but evil at worst. I think it's quite evil for us to call this Pokemon a dinosaur. Quite literally, it's an onion frog, onion, toad. And if you debate me, you will lose. I'm a Pokemon master. I've defeated several gyms. Come at me.
What if,
All
what if
right.
a dinosaur has frog DNA? Is it
This sure, but this one does not.
Wait, is this opening statements?
Yeah, I
Is
thought this was opening
or do
statements,
we just-
Montreal. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I have a
relevant question.
Geek, you're losing it. Look, Geek, I just gave you back the reins, and then you've let him get out of control already. Let me rein it back in, right? Opening statements, right? We're going by the fucking numbers. Geek, give me the numbers. Let's go.
All right. Then Montreal player.
Oh, seriously? I didn't. Okay, well, yeah, it just raises an interesting question. If a dinosaur has frog DNA to,
I have a direct response to this, don't you worry.
Is it then a dinosaur?
Like a
really?
legitimate
I mean,
response.
clearly, given the frog nature of Bulbasaur, not a dinosaur, according to A for Andre. And this is somewhat of a contentious question in some circles. Maybe CTV can tell you more. I don't know. But that's it. Other than that, no experience with Pokemon, although my 6-year-old is starting to get into it and watch it, so maybe I'm gonna have to learn soon, but I'm not quite there yet. Yeah, that's it. Bulbasaur. So it's a frog. Okay, that's right. It's a frog that has like some kind of blooming thing on its back, right? Is that it?
Correct.
Is that it? Okay. And what was the question about it? Is it the best Pokemon to start with?
Is it a dinosaur, a frog, or something else entirely?
Okay. Well, I mean, right. I mean, it's not a frog because it has, onion parts, right? So it's not quite a frog either, right? I guess you can't really call it a frog. It's not a frog.
I'm
a frog
ready.
is something
Throw
very
me in.
specific.
Throw me in, Dad.
Right? And this thing has onion
Throw
parts.
me
It's
in!
something entirely. It may be frog-like. Maybe frog-like might have
Oh,
parts
wait,
in
I also
common
got
with a frog.
this.
Maybe if you change the definition of frog, all right, or only used certain aspects of it to describe its frogginess, then in that context it would be a frog, right? But not holistically an entire frog. I yield my time.
All right. I'm going to throw it to Honest Research, who seem ready for the topic.
Thank you. Okay, so obviously I'm a Bulbasaur expert, so this is very easy. But one of my biggest issues with Montreal's statement is probably the fact that he brought up genetics. When we determine speciation and the difference between groups and phylums and everything like that, the amount of genetic similarity usually isn't actually a determinant factor. It's usually whether or not something's able to breed. And when we talk about Pokemon in particular, Pokemon obviously has a lot of really bad mixed terms. They have evolution, which is not evolution the way that we know it, but we look at egg groups and we look at specific species. And obviously Bulbasaur, it doesn't matter if it's a dinosaur or a plant or what it is, because it's a Pokemon and its species is Bulbasaur. So with that, I yield.
All right. I'm going to try to treat to it.
I'm going to turn off my soundboard.
Andre, we've been friends for a while, but I gotta disagree. Bulbasaur is not a frog. And I don't care what he is, but it's not frog, because if you've seen, first of
I
all,
really appreciate
his
that,
facial
Andre.
structure, wrong. His walk cycle, what frog walks, like, one at a time? Frogs do the two.
God damn it.
If you just look at any aspect of him, he's not
Wait,
a
so
frog.
if
I don't
I
care
give
what
an
he is, but
example,
it's not that.
I need an example of a frog not hopping like a frog.
God damn. Okay. First of all, this wonderful topic was brought to you by Dynabo, twitch.tv/Dynabo. I didn't thought it was going to go that scientific, but I'm happy with it. Mind of Z, go ahead.
Hashtag blame Danabo.
Okay, so number one, it's not a frog. I agree with Trix on what she
Technically, you make it a
they
touch.
said on
They're actually right.
on how the walking does and the facial features. What I do say is, what if it's not an onion? What if it's a Brussels sprout? Because if you look at the back, it kind of looks like a Brussels sprout if you, at first glance. So that's all I have to say.
All right. That's an interesting question. Bath and Joystick.
Yeah, so my take on the Bulbasaur thing, it's close to frog. It's like frog-like, but I wouldn't call it a frog. I think it's more dinosaur-like. If you look at like any picture of a frog, you'll notice that a frog's hind legs are a certain type of way. They're kind of bent like an arm or an elbow. Bulbasaur is more like dog-like, I'd say. So that leads me to give it the dinosaur prescription, solely because of its hind legs. It doesn't fully fit that frog prescription at all.
It's a Bulbasaur. Its category is
plus,
Pokemon.
Like its evolutions and
its
things
group is
also
Pokemon. Its
imply
phylum is Pokemon.
Dinosaurtivity.
But it's a Bulbasaur.
So that's my stance right there. And also, it doesn't have a pre-evolution of a tadpole, so how could it be a frog?
Oh, damn, he's ripping out the real ones!
Vote.
Alright, I'm gonna come up with the hottest take that we've seen so far, and that Bulbasaur is absolutely not the best starter Pokemon. It's by far Charmander, and that is objectively true.
Wrong. No, it's objectively
wrong. I'll hear nothing
wrong.
else about that, and that's the rest of the case.
Can we kick this guy or something?
Oh, whoa, no, not yet.
Wait.
Opening statements, Trixie!
Exactly.
Or Trix, sorry.
All right.
It is 50, actually. Good job.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to be honest with everybody, and wait here for a moment. What the fuck is this Pokemon shit? I don't know a fucking thing about Pokemon. Why the fuck am I being asked about Pokemon right now? The only thing that I know for sure,
all you need to know,
right, is that as soon as I'm sitting here listening, they tell me that this Bulbasaur character is somehow a frog and a dinosaur and some other shit, right? I don't know. I'll tell you what, let's take this back to some movie lore, right? The only creatures that I'm aware that comes anywhere close to this description is, in fact, the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Okay? They started off with frog DNA. Somehow, they had the fucking lysine deficiency. Were able to keep surviving. I don't know. This clearly seems to me like some Pokemon-type shit.
Jurassic Park
right?
was turning
so
the frogs
maybe,
gay.
just maybe, you've expanded my fucking understanding of the Jurassic Park world more into some kind of Pokemon at the same thing. And maybe, I don't know, this makes some other sense in other categories for why it is that I'm Dylan's favorite Pokemon to throw into a fucking debate. So I don't fucking know, right? But Bulbasaur's here, bitches, right? That's the stance. Take it down.
Yeah. And with that being said, the floor is yours.
Okay, I gotta hop in here because there were some really dangerous takes, and we gotta talk about our rhetoric here. First of all, it's weird that like someone not only like taught their dad how to use Twitch.tv, but they let him co-host the show. If you don't know what Pokemon is, old man, just sit down and let the kids have their moment. Next, I thought I liked you because your name has joysticks in it, and I'm a retired fighting game professional, traveled around the world, won lots of tournaments. We don't have to have a parade or anything. I'm really good.
Wait,
but
are we on the topic
dog equals dino? What does this take? You said Bulbasaur looks like a dog, therefore it is a dinosaur. I hope when we get to the real topics, you've come prepared. And then Montreal player, I guess I just have a problem with boomers on this panel. You said it has an onion on its back, so it can't be a frog. Like, what is this? In the Pokemon world, Bulbasaur is very, very important, okay? Not only is it a frog, not only does it have an onion on its back, it has fucking cat ears, right? You put cat ears, not a dino again. You put cat ears on a Pokemon, it enhances its cuteness. No, let me finish, Shades. I'm not done. You put cat ears on a Pokemon, it becomes everyone's favorite. And honestly, to the point from the very handsome man, I forgot your name, friend. Charmander is great because he grows into Charizard, but like basic Charmander is kind of basic, right? Bulbasaur is like green, onion. It's an onion blossom. It's a toad. It's cat ears. It's got little like toenails. It's like really, really fucking cute. But I would agree that Charmander grows into Charizard. There's a like fairly based take, and I'm definitely right about this.
I mean, doesn't the frog have a? You know what? I'll let Trixie go.
Okay, I'm wondering why you think it's frog in the first place. First of all, the eyelids. Frogs have translucent eyelids that have webbing on them. Bulbasaur just has full eyelids. The walk cycle's different, and also Bulbasaur's tongue doesn't match that of the frog at all, which is like the most iconic aspect of it. So other than being a small green thing, what part of him screams frog?
Should I reply to that, or?
I mean, I am going to just, counteract my whole argument, but I don't really care. I see where Andre's coming from this, because it is pretty hard for a cartoon designer to actually in their day and age, create a frog with the type of. I mean, now it's easy. Now it's easy, but when was Bulbasaur? When was Bulbasaur like brought into the game?
Who's the Pokemon?
90s,
when
early
it
90s,
started?
yeah. 25 years ago.
So a lot
Just
has
over
changed
25.
with technology, and yeah.
Nishida, that's right.
So to quickly respond to Trix's question, I'm sorry, Montreal, you can have a fire after this. I've just Googled it. Ken Sugimori, the designer of Bulbasaur, has confirmed that its evolutions, it and its evolutions are based on both onions and frogs. So I rest my case. Next topic.
Hold on.
Wait, some egregious stuff said. got said.
Wait.
Like if I drew you a horse,
Sorry,
if
I
told you
forgot.
it's an airplane, would that be
Okay, real quick. Sorry, I forgot to mention one big rule. When I speak, it's to moderate. For now. So when I speak, no one speak. I want to phrase real quick to honest research, and after that, Montreal.
He actually meant that he needed to me to point out that you don't piss off the angry Frenchman in the fucking room, okay?
That's right.
That's what you don't do, right? Okay.
All right, so I really don't care that much about the frog and dinosaur debate, but if we're actually going to talk about competitive efficacy, why are we saying that Charizard is better than Bulbasaur when it literally has to use its held item slot just to not have half its HP drained? Okay, all right, sorry, I'm done.
I'm gonna bring it back a little bit here. So I have a chatter telling me that according to the Pokédex, the scientists are actually still unaware whether to call Bulbasaur an animal or a plant. So I think that
is the Gen 1
Back
description.
to that, then I'm not really sure where we go from there.
Follow the science on this one. You can't.
If it's any plant, it's cabbage. If it's any plant, it's cabbage.
I do
without
like
go with that onion
Z's
shit.
take on it being a Brussels sprout, because that bulb does kind of look like a Brussels sprout back there.
It grows in. I want to hear from Montreal, but it grows into like a tree. Venusaur has like a giant tree on its back, so I don't know if it. Also, Brussels sprouts are not good, so I disagree with that.
Brussels sprouts are terrible. I will say that. I'll agree with you there.
How can this thing be a frog? I'm sorry. When amphibians or something develop some new, adaptation to the environment and have some abilities and stuff, they become like a whole other animal. Okay, they evolve into a lizard or whatever. Okay, so a frog. Okay, we all know what a frog is. Okay, there's a certain kind of like, maybe you could say a toad is kind of a frog, but we even have a different word for that. Okay, there's kind of like a narrow set of like physical characteristics that go into a frog. This thing has a ton of different things. How is it not its own kind of a thing with like frog-like qualities? But don't lizards also have frog-like qualities? Are lizards frogs? No. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we're getting to like an actual debate, none of the creatures in Pokemon are actually animals. They're all monsters, hence the name Pocket Monsters. But it sort of ruins the. Yeah,
They're
but
not
it's
monsters to me.
it certainly ruins the like debate of like.
Well, yeah, no, I think he actually has a point. I think if we were gonna like actually design a tree of like real animals and then Pokemon would be their own family, so it'd be like Plant Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Pokemon Kingdom.
Yeah, they're like monsters in their own. But also, you really disrespected Charizard, and I take that as a personal insult as I run a Pokemon card shop.
Bro, I just had your back. Get out of here.
No, you were insulting Charizard. The name of my shop is Only Zards. It's my only fans and my only Zards. That's where you get. That's how I make the money.
We're gonna talk about competitive efficacy.
Okay.
We have
okay. So if you're actually gonna go down this route, number one, why would you get a grass character or whatever it is, the leaf character? I used to be a Pokemon geek and I'm not. So whatever you want to call it, the green character, whatever Bulbasaur types is versus a fire type. Of course, the fire type's going to be the grass type because in real life, fire burns grass.
Yeah, but when
Sorry, I want to phrase two tricks.
Oh wow, Andre's not even in chat. Amazing.
Which chat? Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. My quick thing is that frogs have eyes on the side of their heads because they aren't predator animals. Why the fact that Bulbasaur has front-facing eyes implies that it hunts other animals, which isn't very frog-like. So I'm gonna dismiss that. But it is a bit more dinosaur-like. Also, the fact that he has those little claws things on his feet, that's a bit more dinosaur to me. I'm not really hearing. I'm also let's get a bit meta with it. Death to the author. Just because someone can create an art piece saying it's about something, say a bullshit onion and a bullshit frog, doesn't mean that it has to continue being that. It's been a while, and an author's intention isn't always how it's going to be received or how it's going to be modified through the years. It may have started like that, but that got quickly dismissed when everyone saw it and went, dinosaur. Cabbage.
George Lucas, J.K. Rowling, they're 100%
Is there a
right.
definition of frog and or dinosaur also like socially constructed? There's our ideal of like what a dinosaur or a frog is supposed to be. Okay, and this thing, okay, because it has, you know, it has frog-like characteristics, and why can't it be happy with its frog identity?
You know what,
no.
Andre? Here's the fact
Yeah.
of the matter. Here's the fact of the matter. You want to say old man earlier, right? Let me tell you exactly how old this man is. I'm so old that I know exactly where the fuck Pokemon came from, right? And you know where they came from? Them little motherfucking Tamagotchis them motherfuckers was carrying around.
You're
and
just wrong.
fucking
You're
feeding.
just wrong.
Oh no, that's where the shit started out, right? Cause see, right as Tamagotchis, right? Then here came the Pokemons, and that's where the real shit, Legend of Zelda, was carrying the fucking Nintendo brand before that, right? So if you ain't got shit to say, I know you ain't got shit to say now, because I just took the whole origins of the thing and ripped it apart and showed you just how timid and fragile, right, that your ideas are. And Bulbasaur can be whatever the fuck Bulbasaur wants to identify as. That's how I feel about it.
Can we do a round of applause because Grandpa named like 4 video games? I'm so, like you said, Zelda and Pokemon and like 3 other. I'm just so proud of you.
You just named 4 Grandpa video games.
I'm inspired by that. I'm inspired by that.
You're
I
still
also
making waves today.
completely what old people completely unrelated
No,
to the
those
conversation.
Those titles. Okay.
I once. Who cares, bro? See me in Fortnite. I once had a Tamagotchi and it died. I watched the movie Titanic.
Yeah, more like a
3 hours long.
Tamagotchi.
Oh shit. Anyways, the Titanic was too long and my Tamagotchi died, and that's why I talk politics on
As much fun
Twitch.
as this is, I do want to get to the actual political topics.
I've done some research, and there is a species called Beelzebuffer ampigna, and it is a very particularly specific breed of large prehistoric frog dinosaurs.
What's the definition of a dinosaur?
And Bulbasaur and all them things are pretty big for frogs, but they do have dinosaur aspects, and they're quite large. So they could just be this very niche species of dinosaur they just discovered.
See how the left does? They try to trick you with fake news. It's a fucking frog.
It's not a frog. You admitted it wasn't a frog before. You admitted it wasn't a frog before. You diverted the whole thing. Okay.
That's
then you went to
engaging.
an ad hominem.
It's not even a debate.
Okay.
It's not even a debate.
Pokemon Ignoramus won the debate. Thank you.
You won the debate by not engaging. Are Pokemon real creatures? No, I win. That's not. You don't win the debate. You refuse.
You asserted it was a frog.
It's a video game.
Presented arguments. You can't come back. Debate won. Thank you.
You raising your voice confirms what Dana Bo said, that you're a Republican, filthy Republican.
That's right.
But
I'm on the conservative side. Correct.
It's the red in the back.
I mean, like either we
no, if he's an
engage in this
herbivore,
or
that
not.
does
The
not make him
idea
a
that like
cannibal.
we can just opt out and say that it's not a frog is kind of
Just
a
like how we
obvious
eat
take.
meat,
It's kind
that
of a
doesn't make
cold,
us
lukewarm.
cannibals.
Like who gives a fuck? It's some pocket monster. It's obviously not a
Still
real
not an
creature. But if it
amphibian, though.
had to be a real creature, it'd have to be a frog with cat ears, which I would assume Trix is a fan of. But whatever.
You piece of shit.
I didn't say anything else. I just no one else. You and I are the only ones who knew that.
Wow. You see what he did there, Trix? That was dirty. That was dirty. Yeah.
I'll get him back for it.
You know, then do it. I want to see it right now. Right now, while it's fresh. While it's fresh. What are you doing?
You're
Come
like
up with
putting
something.
2 little action figures in like a pit, and you're like, go guys.
Rock'em Robots, that's the next one, right? So let's fucking go.
Another game that came out and died way before I was born. I'll
Right,
Google
so
that
you're getting
later.
a history lesson, right? You're supposed to be new and hip with this Pokemon shit. Let's go with it.
So when I was researching the ancient prehistoric frogs, your channel came up, and
My channel came up.
no, CTV's.
What?
Oh god.
CTV's apostle.
Okay, but if we're gonna say that Bulbasaur, if we're gonna say that it's some kind of animal, then what the fuck happens to all of those Pokemon that are just food but alive?
I mean, it's tough. There's like thousands of Pokemon. I have no idea what all of them are. I like the ones that are like car keys or trash bags or candles. I like the inanimate object Pokemon. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
But what's the
People
my
always talk
complaint
about
with
the ethics.
my
People always talk
complaint
about
with
the ethics of eating. Hold on, you're a vegan, so you'll love this. The ethics of eating Pokemon is boring. It's been done. What are the ethics of using Pokemon? The candlestick Pokemon? What if you just had that on your mantle? Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I
For
think
what?
that's
Used
the
it for what
exploitation.
exactly?
What if the
A
Pokemon gets
candle.
enjoyment
It's a
out of it?
candle.
Oh, so it is.
No, it's like literally a candle.
Is there a
It's like
lasagna? Is there a lasagna Pokemon?
Probably.
If we're gonna talk morality of Pokemon,
If there was
in
a
general,
vibrator Pokemon, would
I
that
think
be
we have to get into
bestiality?
consent.
yeah, well, like
Yeah,
you're
I
just
mean-
locking a
Okay,
Pokemon in
no,
a ball
no.
for his whole life.
All right, we're devolving too much. I think it's a good place
It takes
to.
care of its health. It feeds it. It does all of that. So why are we talking about consent when really the animal has no choice?
Because Pokemon are obviously smarter than our animals. But he was talking. Please let Keith finish.
Yeah.
That's just
Anyway.
that's just common sense. Madison.
Okay, quick
I'm just
reminder.
gonna- I'm
I'm
just
going
gonna
to be a
sip- I'm
bitch
just
with
gonna sip
that
the
one,
Keith.
but yeah.
That's my
Quick
strategy.
reminder. Rule number 1: when I speak, it's to moderate. So please. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good place to end. This was just like a quick intro, a fun topic, just to get everyone, in the mood for the panel. So yeah, I think let's go into closing statement for this one, and let's start with Buzz and Joystick.
Yeah, so my closing statements are that I think we can all agree that Andre's full of shit, and also that Bulbasaur is a dinosaur. Okay, with the name Soar, its hind legs are clearly that of something that's not a frog. There's no tadpole pre-evolution of the Bulbasaur to begin with. Plus, I say so. So that's 4 good reasons, and that's my closing statement for that.
All right. Since you directed something to Andre, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's a flawed argument. I would rather reply to everyone's arguments because you're all wrong. But if I'm just going to address this one, the idea, Greninja evolves from like Frogadier, which doesn't start as a tadpole. It's silly. And if you don't know your Pokemon, you know your Pokemon. Sit the topic out if you don't know. But I do know. I am an expert, as I'm an expert on all things, and you'll hear that in the coming conversations. This is fun. I'm glad you invited me.
Yeah, happy to have you on board. I was saying in Dynamos chat that like my face hurts so much from smiting. So thank you everyone for being here. I really enjoyed
This is
this
when we're all
show
gonna
a
stop
lot.
being
So, yeah,
friends. Oh god.
thank you so much. Montreal player, go.
Pokemon, or sorry, Bulbasaur, not a frog. I think we all know it. Everybody agrees. Okay, this is a consensus. Okay, and you have to listen to the data here. All right, it's not a dinosaur. It's not a frog. It's its own species, and that's it. And those games that CTV mentioned, the Boomer games, those titles endure to this day. All right, which means there was some quality about them that was so fantastic. Okay, that they had to continue them. Just like today, there's no new movies. It's all remakes of some stuff that people my age, grew up with. All right, you people, you young people, you just make copies. You make shallow copies of things. Okay, and they're terrible. They're terrible. Movies today are terrible. Older movies are better. Just like those games, had timeless quality to them. They're
Clearly,
limby.
he's never seen Live, Die,
They're
Repeat.
better, and it's proved because of how long they last and how they have to be emulated and copied. Okay, all this to say, much better here. Okay, terrible arguments here. Not a frog. All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Trey.
Let's research.
I'm
I
gonna
think
go
we're
open the garage door and
okay. I think we're putting the cart before the horse a little bit. There's no point in arguing whether or not Bulbasaur is a frog or a dinosaur if there are still people out there who don't understand that Charizard being 4 times weak to rock is like an absolute detriment to his competitive viability. That's right, Andre. You can't reply. I yield.
All right. I'm going to throw it to Trix.
Bulbasaur used to be my favorite. My current favorite is now Phantump. And I think that if you know what, at the end of the day, no one's arguing for Squirtle, and I think that means we're all winners. Thanks.
Yeah.
Vold, go ahead.
CTV's just
I'm
sitting
still
there
gonna
like, the
reinstate
fuck
the
is a
fact
Squirtle?
that Charizard literally cooks Bulbasaur, eats him alive. After, I mean, I guess not alive. He probably tortures him first and then eats him.
Yeah, and then I send out my Kyogre and Tapu
again,
Fini.
one
What's
more
gonna
time,
happen then?
Squirtle greater than Charizard anyway. So
Sorry, I'm still frustrated by what Trick said. Mind of the. Go ahead.
It's clear that Bulbasaur is not a fraud. It's just common sense. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
People have spoken.
All right, and last but not least, CTV.
Well, history, folks. Right? We took down Andre, right? We showed the origins of the Pokemon to the Tamagotchis, right? And it turned into a Tamagotchi, right? Fact of the matter is that the favorite and best Pokemon, if anybody out there in the debate world, is guess what? CTV, and currently, right, Dylan Burns is in possession of said Pokemon, right? So I don't know what to tell you. I've got this shit wrapped up all the way around, and CTV for the win. That's it.
I think CTV is a Digimon, not a Pokemon.
That could be its own debate.
CTV, I choose.
But yeah. So yeah, before jumping into the next topic, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you to all of you for being here. So everyone in everyone's chat, go follow a wonderful panelist, you know. Doesn't matter your community, the community you're from. Follow is free, it always helps, you know. So yeah, go check out our wonderful panelists. They 100% deserve it. And also, if you're all here, it's because you got an invite from Danabo, who's doing a wonderful work behind the scene, coming up with topics like this, inviting people not only for like the recruitment show, but like for the main show. So yeah, we got Paradigm not too long ago on the recruitment. He went on the main show like this Friday. So yeah, if you want to try your luck, join Danabo's Discord. You know, you got all the info and everything. And yeah. With that being said, let's jump into the main topic.
Here we go.
Which is Omicron, every time. Omicron, vaccine mandates, and quarantine guidelines.
And I'm going to try to avoid talking
So,
about it as
are
much as
vaccine
possible.
mandates effective in the current political climate? Are the new CDC quarantine guidelines sufficient or necessary? With the Omicron variant being described as mild or less severe, is it time to loosen restrictions and get back to normalcy? So with that, I'm going to start with Volp. You're muted.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Save the best for first. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna go by point there. So, say, are the vaccine mandates effective in the current political climate? I'll start that with, it depends on where. If you look at schools in the military, they've been enforcing vaccine mandates forever. Private businesses, not so much. There's been no relative boost in vaccination rate due to the mandate. 66% of respondents to a large survey say that they are in favor of some sort of control measures. So it's kind of proof that people do care about COVID, not necessarily just the vaccine mandate, though. And then there's evidence, especially with Omicron, that masks and social distancing are proving to be a much better measure for protecting from the spread of COVID than the vaccine is. Vaccine mandates have, in my opinion, become some sort of virtue signal to show that you are of higher morality than those who refuse to get the vaccine. So that kind of ties it back into the quote-unquote current political climate, where it seems everything is super divisive and everything comes back to left versus right. So I think that this is something that really proves no scientific value, I guess, and no moral value. Omicron doesn't really care about the vaccine, so mandating it will not stop the spread. We know the vaccine doesn't stop spreading from Omicron. I'm sorry. We know the vaccine does not stop the spreading of Omicron, so why continue to enforce the mandate? And the typical argument against, why you shouldn't or why you should have the mandate is because, you're going to increase hospitalizations at a drastic rate. But if we look through the data for the past couple months, there have been no meaningful impact on the U.S. ICU capacity due to, unvaccinated people from Omicron. And that's it for me.
All right. I'm going to fade to Montreal player.
Yeah, I think given the massive sample of COVID vaccines out, I think it's very unlikely it's unsafe. So just to get off the table, as far as mandates go, I suppose I would support mandates for localized groups, but not on like a national or.
I think
or
I'm just gonna
broader
ride
level,
his
just because
coattails.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna ride this guy's
I don't think
back.
the people who would enforce those actually have they have more wheels turning than just people's health, and I
Oh,
don't feel
okay,
like
maybe not.
I can trust
Like,
things from that
back
end.
off, back off.
Also, I really dislike on that scale how it's being sold. I guess I'll talk about that later. But what I've seen, and I feel like it's kind of leading up to vaccine mandates, and honestly, I think it's a little fucked up. But other than that, yeah, that's it. I'll be talking, I guess, specifically about where I think it's good and where I think it fails in terms of the Quebec situation, because hospitalizations are the main problem here, especially with like the healthcare system we have and how they reman it and stuff. So I guess that'll be the scope of what I talk about. Also, because I'm more familiar with that than just broad generalized, I guess, prescriptions for people, which I don't usually engage in. I think that's it. I think that's it for me as an opening statement.
All right. I'm going to throw it to Trix.
So my take on this. Sorry, I have to mute to cough all the time because I actually think I have COVID. So I think that vaccines are really important because they lower the death rate. A lot of people that are dying are the unvaccinated. So my take on this is pretty much my city had about 200 cases in the entire state 2 weeks ago. And then we were like, okay, that's not many. And it's coming up to the holidays and we've reached 90% vaccinated. Let's remove every single restriction we had. So we're going to open up the borders. We're going to remove capacity where there used to be only a certain amount of people allowed in a building at one time. We pretty much released everything except for masks. And we had 200 cases. Then we went through the holidays, and it's been 2 weeks, and we now have 80,000, with 30,000 of them being from last night alone. We have no tests, at least in my city. We have no tests left. We have no PCR. We have no rapids. We have no food. Everything is closed. Everyone is home with COVID, and even if you're positive, you can't even get a test to prove that, so you have to still go into work if you work in an essential job. And it's absolutely terrible. So I think that the restrictions everywhere should absolutely stay in place, or you're going to end up like Australia is at the moment, where we jumped the gun way too early, and now we're fucked. Probably for the next 2 years.
All right. I'm going to throw it to Honest Research.
Yeah, so my main concern when we're talking about vaccine mandates is whether or not they're actually effective. And it does seem that if we can put some sort of mandate in place, especially when, like we've already mentioned, it's been in place for schools, it's been in place for military and things like that in the past. But looking at the excess mortality and the massive spike in deaths in 2020, whether you believe it's COVID or not, something happened there. And I think that's an excellent argument for, hey, maybe there should be at least something in place to help mitigate this. And I'm good from there.
All right. I'm going to throw it to Mind of Z.
Okay. So let's go point by point. Is vaccine mandates effective?
Can't go point by point in an intro.
No. No, because it is your given right to say, okay, I want the vaccine. Okay, I don't want the vaccine. Number two is should you
All right, I was nervous until this
number
guy
two
gave
is
his
why
opening statement.
why do I say that? Because it's your body, your choice. And it's really sad when CTV, Ranger, what he said the other night about a kid going on, a perfectly healthy kid when he walks into the ICU and you see a perfectly healthy 18-year-old goes into the ICU and sees him on a ventilator because of COVID. It hits him hard, and it should because yeah. And I don't think we should loosen up the restrictions of the COVID because of Omicron, because we still don't know yet its full critique of what it could do versus what we don't know. There's a lot of there's still a lot of unknowns about it, and that's pretty much my take on it.
All right. I'm going to throw it to Buzz and Joystick.
Yeah, so when we talk about like if a COVID vaccine mandate is effective, then we have to like determine what effective means. I would say that effective means that more people get the vaccine, so therefore people are less likely to spread COVID. So there's less of a likelihood of COVID mutating within your country, and we can all go back to normal once everybody's like fully safe and things like that. So I would say the vaccine mandates are pretty much effective. Like we're already seeing like high amounts of people getting vaccinated that probably would not have gotten vaccinated earlier. There are previous diseases in the past where vaccinations have proven to be effective in the past, like say like school vaccinations, military vaccinations, things like that. Like, can you guys think about a world where like say if there weren't school vaccinations or military vaccinations, what side effects could come because of those things? I don't want to live in that world, you know? I want to live in a world that's back to normal, and I feel like a vaccine mandate would help us get to that point.
Hell yeah.
All right. I'm going to throw it to CTV.
Well, the fact of the matter is, and I've said this many, many times,
CTV
over the course of this
participating?
past year, if we saw the kinds of effects from this pandemic that say, like what were happening in the Middle Ages with the bubonic plague, where people were literally fucking dying out on the street, or perhaps even during the Spanish influenza back in the 1918, I believe, when that one hit, right? So we had 50 to 60 million Americans die during that time, right? We haven't seen anywhere close to those kinds of numbers. So since we haven't seen anywhere close to those kinds of numbers, we haven't also seen the effects that we would have seen then. Then it was very obvious to people that, like, yeah, we need to be making sure that we're doing this shit. However, you bring it here to the fucking 21st century and the people see, you know, the numbers that they're seeing and the effects that they're having in their community, and they just weigh it out and go, everybody's going to end up getting sick from this thing. So at some point, whether it's via a vaccine or it's you catching it naturally, you're going to probably end up having to deal with this thing. So I think that in this situation, that the people themselves can decide how they want to approach the situation, because it doesn't seem like that this thing is discriminated on who it makes sick and who it don't. It does seem that there is some preconditions to people that have them have a certain reaction to the thing versus another person, right? But overall, everybody's going to end up getting sick. So since that's the case, mandating people's, losses of their civil liberties in this case doesn't seem justifiable to me.
All right. I'm going to throw it to A for Andre.
Yo, well, I fucking forgot what the original question is because CTV is so charismatic. What I'm not gonna reply to CTV. Will you repeat? Can we just is the mandate effective? Will you hit me with like just a quick bullet point? Because I'm gonna yell at CTV,
yeah.
but I'll wait till we open the floor.
Are vaccine mandates effective in the current political climate? Are the new CDC quarantine guidelines sufficient or necessary? With the Omicron variant being described as mild or less severe, is it time to loosen restriction and get back to normalcy?
Okay, sorry. Thank you for rephrasing. Yeah, our vaccine mandate's effective. I think Joystick said it really well. It's like effective in making sure people get the vaccine and this being a net good. Yeah, sure. Certainly they're effective at this. CDC quarantine guidelines are like unnecessarily like changing and confusing. I don't know. It's like if you're Sagittarius, then you may need to get vaccine, but your like spirit is like I don't know. I think they're kind of confusing, but I would be for stricter quarantine guidelines, and then restrictions. Do we loosen? I don't know. Probably not. I don't think we should loosen restrictions. Am I the last one? Are we gonna open this up or?
Yep. With that
Yeah.
being
Okay.
said,
Oh, sorry. Sorry. No, should I hop in Montreal or
yeah? Okay, so we're talking about them being effective. Talking about them being effective. Clearly, I mean, they don't seem to be effective in spreading the thing. Everyone's getting it, even if they're contact. In fact, I wonder often who is spreading it more: vaccinated people who have contact with large, dense urban environments, or unvaccinated people who are, just to take an extreme, unvaccinated people who don't have a lot of points of contact with people, right, or far lesser, right, in smaller population smaller population groups. So that's it, and that's why it's like I feel like, and the other thing is that as far as like a problem, if let's say we assume everybody's going to get it, right? We still have, at least in Quebec, we still have this problem of hospitalizations. Okay, we have a certain healthcare infrastructure. All right, it's public and stuff, but it's being taxed right now. And not only that, because of the restrictions of not just masks, but all the extra steps that we have to go through to stop this spread. Nurses, are getting overworked. They're burning out. They're dropping out. Okay, a lot of people are retiring because they can't take it anymore. And as far as just in Quebec, even the healthcare system wasn't exactly it wasn't exactly ready to receive and running at top notch before COVID, and now they have this. It stressed the system out. Honestly, I wonder if a lot of the shortcomings, okay, that was naturally ingrained in the healthcare system aren't going to be blamed on. Oh well, it's COVID now. It's COVID. We don't have enough nurses. That's why, right? So that's it. As far as hospitalizations, the vaccination seems to make a huge difference, right? So, and that's it. And the difference would be to save this kind of healthcare system, at least for us in Quebec, save the healthcare system from a point where it's going to collapse and be completely ineffective. Already, people are getting denied, their surgeries, their appointments with doctors for things that are not COVID related. Okay, and it's hurting a lot of people. And so the pressure's on. They're training new nurses here, all right, but it takes 3 years to train them, and I guess they're 2 years in. They're giving a lot of money to that, but you can't just put unqualified people in the field either for this. So that's it. There's a huge logistical problem. And that's why I say, like, vaccine mandates, I would support them on a more localized level, ideally, honestly, municipal, okay, for, again, those large, dense populated areas, and every town can decide whether or not what their containment strategy is going to be for this, right? And so that's it. Just to sum up, it seems to not stop the spread, but if you're having problems with hospitalizations and healthcare infrastructure, it's something to consider. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, so I wanted to reply specifically to CTV. I sort of agree with I guess some of what Montreal is saying. Montreal and CTV are talking about everyone getting COVID, and I think while this may be the case with like variants and the continued spread of this thing, that eventually maybe everyone is exposed to it, but I think we have to like get rid of this like dismissive, almost like cavalier attitude of like, well, everyone's gonna get it, because I don't think I don't know who's listening, and hopefully folks are taking it serious at this point, because it's been years. But like the idea that like it's not the bubonic plague and the vaccine's going to make you sick and everybody's going to get sick anyway. This is like really dangerous. I really don't think we should be talking like this. I think we still need to treat this with the respect it deserves, with the mortality rate so high. I think it's disingenuous, if not dangerous, to talk in this way.
Well, it's not a loss of respect.
Wait.
Sure, I was largely.
Ahead. Real quick, I want
just
to phrase
one
this.
little,
Okay. Go ahead after that, CTV. If that's
just one little thing.
short,
I wasn't using the worst case. I was using it as a worst case scenario that everyone gets COVID.
Sure.
To, I guess, put an extreme to my thing. I'm not saying I think that's going to happen. Okay, because I don't actually know. Thank you. That's it.
All right, CTV, and after that, on next reset.
Yeah, it's not that there's a loss of respect for what it can do, but it is an understanding that like this thing doesn't discriminate when as to who that it goes to, and more than likely everyone's going to end up having to deal with this thing. So whether or not the government, and I would say that Montreal's hitting the nail on the head as far as government control, needs to be at the municipal level, as close to the individual as possible. That way you don't end up with overarching state policies that end up, shutting down all trade and commerce to places, and then people end up losing their livelihoods. You definitely, in a situation like this, want it handled much more locally than even a state level, right? County would be about as big, because at least in that way you're going to have communication between counties and surrounding areas.
You had me for a second.
If there's places in the state, then the state can then assist in moving resources to a given area, but it's got to be handled at the how shall we say, the mandate level, at the most local municipal level possible.
I'm gonna jump in and out like double dutch, because I know Trix and others want to talk, but I do think it does discriminate. The idea that it doesn't and everybody gets it is just silly. Those who wear masks and social distance, obviously, right? Like this is sort of a discrimination. These folks aren't getting sick in the way that others are. So
that wasn't mine and my wife's experience. I wasn't wearing a mask, and she was religious about wearing a mask.
That's just
she's
people,
the one that.
So
well, I'm just telling you.
We're talking about anecdotes versus data, right?
Okay, right. So how is data collected?
Sure, you ask a large group of individuals, right? Like you survey
Right.
a population of people, but you're just one. You and your wife are a lovely couple.
And
but
I
it
happen
doesn't
to be
really
the one
reflect-
sitting in this chair with the fucking camera and the microphone talking.
Right. So this morning I had
Right?
cup of noodles, but what the fuck does that have to do with anything? That's just my story, and I'm gonna.
And I'm telling you, direct evidence from my life, right? Take that for what you will. Don't try to discount it, though. Otherwise, you're going to end up
No,
seeming
I'm
disingenuous.
accurately counting it. It's two people.
Wait, sorry.
Okay.
Wait. Hold up. I want to throw to honest research after that, Tricks and Buzz and Joystick if you want to talk.
Yeah, I 100% want to say that anecdotes are valid, but that's because they're data points in a data set. So, actually, what I specifically wanted to talk about was the fact that we first got our initial spike here in the US. Sorry, I'm going to talk about the US because those are the numbers I'm most familiar with. But in March and April of the 2019-2020 flu season. And then we look over at February after everyone started getting the vaccine, and deaths started dropping like crazy. So it seems that it has a correlation. While your anecdote is 100% valid, and it does happen. I know people who were vaccinated, had COVID, and then still got COVID again. It happens. That doesn't mean that it isn't effective and it isn't doing its job.
All right, Trix.
There is 110%. Oh my god. There is 110% data to back up the fact that a majority of the people dying to COVID, like a strong majority of them, aren't vaccinated. So while it doesn't stop you getting COVID, it certainly stops like some of the major side effects, and it certainly lessens it a bit. A lot of the people who are vaccinated with COVID are asymptomatic. But also, oh my god, like the idea of that it should be handled locally, and that the COVID situation should absolutely be handled at a national level for each country. And the fact that it isn't is honestly disgusting, and I hate that it is being sectioned off into like, well, each state can do its own thing, and then from there people are even doing like, you're like saying like counties and shit can do the, what the fuck? No, this is a massive problem. Why should it be brought down that I'm not done? Why should it be brought down that much? And it's reaching the point where it's like, well, now it's just like, let's ease restrictions and have each individual person can mandate their own thing. Like if they want to do this or that, and each business can choose their own rules for entry and stuff. That's why this hasn't finished, because people are being left to their own things to choose for themselves. And call me fucking like dictatorship, whatever, but I think that we should be principling. Yeah, we should be principling this more, and we should be enforcing more rules, because like we had state level rules, and when they left and we went down to a local level, we've had an outbreak of 80,000. I think that leaving it down to the individual person, or like the smaller you make it, the worse it is, because then also it places the weight of like all these choices and all of these like oh well, it's up to you. Why is the weight of COVID being left to me? Why is it being left to the individual person? This should be handled by the government and the people we pay to handle this.
Yeah, so the fact of the matter is it...
Sorry, we have a list. I want Buzz and Joystick. Buzz and Joystick have been waiting to talk, so yeah. Yeah, go ahead, and after that I want to open it again. So CTV, you'll be able to...
She's being saved for the moment.
Yeah, the homie Tricks. He put it down. He put it down.
He, they, no she.
Yeah, so the homie Tricks put it down. I was gonna say, we're all in this together. We're the Zac Efron. All right, so that's pretty much all in there. Yeah, honest research got it. All in this together. All right, yeah, so that's what I was gonna say.
All right. Yeah, CTV, you wanted to answer.
Okay, good. So everybody heard what Trix had to say, right? So this right here is a clear example of the type of ideology, big word, ideology, right, that you get from a people that have grown up generationally as a prison colony, okay? They're used to having overlords tell them exactly what to do, right? They're used to Big Daddy government coming down and telling them. That's why she would attempt to push down the idea of the states, right? And like delegitimize the structures of government that we have here in these United States, okay? Nationally, no. State level, that's where the Constitution kicks it back to via the 10th Amendment, right? So I don't know, like, how you guys decide that you want to do over there in Australia. I'm more than happy letting you do whatever you want over there in Australia, instead of us taking the world's most powerful military over there, right, and showing you what a real prison colony can look like.
Oh, you did not just
No.
call us a prison colony. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is
Wait,
wrong
Trix,
with you?
I'm sorry.
Genuinely.
I'm sorry.
In
Just
Canada,
let it
in
go.
Canada, we have
Okay.
all the provinces manage the healthcare. Okay, they're working independently of each other, and they've pretty much all adopted kind of the same rules. You know, vaxi codes kind of everywhere, mask mandates, stuff like that. It's not like people are able to make decisions because they don't want to kill their own people. Okay, and the fact that we don't trust people, okay, to want to have a stake in their own lives. I know there's some politics in there. I know there's some fuckery, but generally people want to live, and they elect people who will, fix things for them. Okay, the vaccines and stuff are still very popular. Okay, but we leave it up to localized governments, and it works. Nobody who wants to die except for dumb internet reasons. Okay, yeah, and it's weird. Why do we not trust people? Why do you not trust people to want to save their own lives? Why does it have to be someone who dictates and just strong arms everything? I mean, I know it takes a little longer. I know people disagree. Okay, but as a general rule, I think we all like to live. You know, so why not give people that ability? Okay, that's it. I'm done.
I wanted to throw it to Volp. I know you've been trying to talk. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so a couple things. I kind of just want to bounce off what CTV and Montreal are kind of saying, and then kind of address something Trixie said. Well, you have like these 80,000 cases you said in one day after being locked down for I don't really know how long. But you also say you have 90% vaccination rate, and then once you release the lockdown, you have this mass spreading event. So it's like, in the sense of like stopping the spread, the vaccine is proven in that case, right? I guess it's an anecdotal example, but like it's not effective in stopping the spread. So I think like, the more effective things such as masking and social distancing, in my opinion, are what needs to be pushed, as opposed to mandating everyone get a vaccine on a level that is unprecedented. So I'm not sure. And with the proof that it's not really that effective in stopping the spread, what's the point aside from just like wanting to prove your morality over someone? Why do you need to take the personal choice out of it, right? Because the person who is vaccinated is proven to be protected from the virus and protected from hospitalization. So if you are in a situation like we are in New York, for example, where the hospitals are not overran by infection, what is the need to mandate that everyone gets a vaccine? Well, it's not efficient. It's not effective. So it's just a virtue signal, in my opinion, and I'll pass it off.
Trix,
Can I reply to that?
Yeah.
So basically, I get what you're saying, but my thing is like, while we had 90%, the reason why it spread is because that 10% that didn't care about getting vaccinated, they were the ones that initially were like, oh, well then we're gonna go traveling, we're gonna like ignore like this and that, and we're just gonna go meet everyone, and that's kind of how it spread. But I think that the fact that we got 90% before we released the restrictions, that was always the plan, because now as a result, if you look at it compared to when America first started and their COVID numbers and their death rate, our death rate and even our hospitalization rate is incredibly low, because even though it's spreading, it's not like deadly and all and stuff, you know what I mean? Like the symptoms aren't as bad. Also the way that COVID spreads is pretty much an unvaccinated person can give the virus to me, but it's much harder for me being double vaxxed to spread that virus to other double vaxxed people. So it kind of stops at that person. But the problem is the people who aren't vaxxed are the ones who are going outside, and they're the ones who are traveling all the time, and they're the ones who are ignoring, because we don't have any social distancing or anything now, because that was part of the restrictions being lifted. But I do reckon that part of COVID isn't just vaccinations, and we need to reinforce capacity limits on places, and we need to mask mandate, all that shit. Also, real quick, CTV, what the fuck was your reply? I had a decent take, and then you were like, prison colony Australia.
America's gonna come over with the largest military.
Yeah, I just completely dismantled your.
You
Yeah,
didn't. You didn't actually have a
I did.
response. You
I
just
did. I completely dismantled your entire argument because you were calling for Big Daddy government, and I'm telling you what American values are here, right? And these are specifically the numbers that we're talking about, and you don't get to just destructure the whole government to suit you for one particular purpose. We have a constitution for a reason. The 10th Amendment spells it out that this issue goes to the states, right? Point blank, period, end of fucking discussion. I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, speaking of the Constitution, this is something I actually specifically wanted to address. Okay, so again, America, but when we're talking about the Constitution specifically, you're right. Specifically, Volp was talking about a blanket mandate was blocked by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. The power imbalances are still happening. It doesn't mean that there shouldn't be another attempt, a less blanket vaccine mandate in the private sector through OSHA.
But can someone tell me what the point is of that? What is it going to do
reduce
to stop
death
this?
and infections?
You can't do that through
Okay, but
OSHA
that is
because
a
it's a
personal
federal
choice.
organization.
Right, you're personally
specifically
choosing
what
to
the
get
court-
the vaccine.
Wait, sorry.
Oh, one at a time, please. I want Volk to finish his point, and after that, Buzz and Joystick.
So my point is just, what is the point of forcing somebody who doesn't want to get vaccinated when they are taking the risk themselves? We all live in a life of taking constant risks every single day. So if somebody is comfortable with the risk in a situation where the hospitals are not overrun, why do you have to force them to get the vaccine?
Because what about the people who are old enough that the
Buzz, sorry. I want to let Buzz respond, and after that, you can go.
Yeah, so to address Wolf's point, I said it earlier, we're all in this together, man. So when people choose to not get the vaccine, they're more likely to spread it. They're more likely to take up a hospital bed in the friggin' ICU.
But he's missing the point.
They're more likely to just like
rules.
Fuck up their coworkers just by spreading it to them.
Don't talk over the moderators.
So their individual choice affects everybody around them potentially. That's why it matters.
Yes,
like
but
we're in this collectively. Like it's kind of like, I know the drunk driving comparison is like kind of played out with you guys, with the conservatives, but it's still very fair. Where like someone else's choice on what they do with their own body can affect others in some sort of way. If you guys Google Orlando boil water COVID, my county in Orlando almost went on a boil water notice because we didn't have enough liquid oxygen to clean our water. Like, that is how COVID affects us. It was due to COVID, yeah. So I don't want to boil my freaking water like I'm in some sort of like backwaters country. No offense to other people in different countries, but I want to be over this shit, right? So when we say, oh, it's just an individual decision, you're virtue signaling, no, it's not a virtue signal. There are real life consequences. I don't want to drink unboiled water if I like water that I have to freaking boil. All right, damn.
Can I just tack something onto that really quickly?
Wait. Protect myself against a water shortage? How do I protect myself against a water shortage?
Well,
how do I do that?
Well, why is that relevant? Why is that?
Wait. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I want to phrase to NS research, and after that Montreal, and after that I want to open it a little bit more and keep the hands up as the last result, basically.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One of the main things that people don't address when we talk about drunk driving is it's not just, okay, drunk driving is illegal. It's also, imagine if the other person wasn't allowed to have a seatbelt. That's the problem, is some people aren't able to get vaccinated. Some people are still in such a high-risk category that even if they are just vaccinated, it can still put them at risk, and that's pretty much all.
But even if you're vaccinated, you can still spread it.
You can still spread it, but the chance is greatly reduced.
Montreal.
Look at the vaccine. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just looked at the Mayo Clinic. You're right.
No, Montreal play out. Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna. I want to be polite and let things finish, but I could shout in if that's what you want me to do. That's fine.
I apologize.
Anyways, look, the easiest, fastest way, okay, to get this COVID thing under wraps is to take full authoritarian
This is
control,
strictly
okay,
about
and
COVID-19, the Omicron variant,
that are
and
needed
possible
to
mandates and
reduce
regulations.
the spread until the infrastructure can start accommodating it. Unfortunately, the reason I don't like that is because I don't like what you would have to do to actually make it happen properly.
I appreciate you.
Okay,
Thank
I
you
think
for
a system
watching.
like that, if it stays in the wrong hands, and it will eventually get in the wrong hands, okay, could be very dangerous for everybody, okay, and for our long-term continued look, yeah, it's for our long-term continued development. I don't think it's a good place to go, honestly. All right, and yeah, that's it. I think. Have you seen them? Have you seen it try to sell the language has become really like, hey, unvaccinated people are kind of like not subhuman. right? For what they do, they're killing people. They're literally killing people because of the congestion and this and that and all kinds of things, right? And they're horrible things that need to be spread out. What are they saying? They're not citizens anymore. I want to piss them off. Is that what Macron was memed for saying? Okay, Justin Trudeau too. You know, he talks
No
about
one's saying that here.
he talks about the unvaccinated, and they believe in QAnon, and they're misogynistic and they're sexist. The truth is, there's a lot of people who, because of reasons that may involve trust in institutions that have not been nice to people or people like them in the past, maybe they just don't trust it. There's a bunch of reasons to be kind of hesitant, okay, that make people hesitant. And whatever, I don't want to judge other people's reality. So whatever
Which
it is,
institution aren't you
is
trusting?
real.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't. Oh, okay. There's a bunch of people who think that the government shouldn't have this much power. Okay, there's a bunch of people who think that I don't know, big pharma is taking out is going to take over too many have too many close relations, more close beefed up relations with the government.
Is that for a reason for us not to get the vaccine, though?
No. I'm just saying there's a bunch of reasons people think, okay, that are real to them. All right, that this thing shouldn't, we shouldn't give full authoritarian power to people who are so detached from your existence, who don't care. They have other wheels turning, right? And that makes people very. I mean, it makes people hesitant. On top of that, we don't have a lot of trust in the institutions that are telling us to do this. Okay, because what do we remember when
you don't trust like every medical institution across the globe?
I trust them to look. I trust them. I don't think they're intentionally doing a bad job or something like that. I don't think they're intentionally trying to manipulate people. Okay, but they're humans. Okay, they have other agendas that they
Every medical institution across the globe.
Yes, as if you imagine it as if it was like an entity of medical institutions. It still has proclivities. If you picture it as its own entity.
Okay, real quick, I just wanted to say everyone can jump in if you want. Just try to be respectful, like if you see that people are talking. Don't try
usually,
to
Honey
overtalk them,
Vinegar,
but,
the
try
point
to
of
let other people jump in too.
The point of conversations like this is to try to change the viewers' minds. You're not gonna
for whatever reason. I'm just gonna finish up, okay? For whatever reason, okay, your
my goal is to try to bring their viewers over. My goal is not to try to bring
vaccine.
Them over.
Like you didn't get it. There's that, okay? But if you also take it seriously, there are tons of people who are vaccine hesitant but still take COVID very seriously. Okay, they distance, they take measures, they wear their masks, they don't want to spread it, they reduce their points of contacts because they can, right? And I don't think those people should be attributed with the demonizing qualities that it's being sold to make this, to generate anger, to make this happen more expeditiously.
What if we institute? Oh yeah.
Okay, Andre, go ahead after that.
Oh, well, I'm really good at this. I bounce in and out, so tricks will be up instantaneously. What if we institute a volume control thing where you don't yell, and also a shot clock where you don't talk for like 5 minutes, since there's so many people on the panel? And I'm not targeting anyone in particular. I just think like this. Go ahead, Tricks. It's really quick.
Yeah, I talked for a long time. Sorry.
So my thing is just I've never heard of the drunk driving take, but I'm thinking of the vaccine mandate more as the seatbelt mandate in like this. I think it was like the 70s or 80s. It was like ages ago, where pretty much the people they were like, hey, you have to wear seatbelts, and people were like, but it's my choice not to. If I'm gonna get into a car wreck anyway, like seatbelts aren't gonna stop me dying. And it's like, yeah, but they lessen it quite a bit. I think it is way better to liken the vaccine mandate to the seatbelt mandate, because when the seatbelt mandate came out, there was a massive uproar of, hey, I'm not going to do it. It's my personal choice. I'm going to get into a car wreck anyway, and it helps, but I don't think it helps enough for me to warrant like violating my rights.
Here's the problem, Tricks. If you wear your seatbelt and you tell others to wear their seatbelt, it's not that you care about your safety and their safety. It's that you're virtue signaling, and I know all about it because I'm a vegan. I love the virtue signal. I'm better than everybody on this panel. That's what it is.
Yeah, so
my virtue is less death. Sorry.
The reason why your correlation doesn't actually work is because wearing a seatbelt is just tantamount to basic operation of the vehicle itself, versus the mandate that you would attend. Versus the difference here, right, is that my body is something that I was born into, right, and then like I'm not, trying to do anything other than operate my body, which I don't need the fucking government's help with. My body will operate without the government. As a matter of fact, I'd argue that for hundreds of thousands of years, humans' bodies were operating without fucking governments, right? So I don't need the government to do this now, right? And that's why correlating it to driving is disingenuous, because you can't correlate the operation of the vehicle to me just being alive.
But it didn't used to be the operation of the vehicle. You can still turn on a car and you can drive to your destination without using a seatbelt. It's not like the car physically won't turn on unless it's plugged in.
You kidding me? It keeps making that fucking annoying beeping every time I get in the motherfucker.
You can take the seatbelt off at any time.
As far as the fun
analogy,
analogy,
you can sit in front of it. There is no. That's the only way that you can liken it is you can wear your seatbelt, but others will just choose not to. And even if you say, hey, but it proves that getting vaccinated significantly lowers the death count, and wearing your seatbelt significantly lowers the death count, people are still like, yeah, but my body.
So standard operating procedure, CTV, were you vaccinated against like polio or measles or mumps? Did your parents put you in that car seat and take care of you, or was that like a seatbelt you also didn't want?
Well, actually, when I was growing up, we had a Pontiac 6000, right? If you remember those.
You rubbed dirt on it? Yeah.
No, I was actually, I remember one night my dad got pulled over by a state trooper, and I was actually asleep in the back window, right? Because back in the day, right, we actually lived life instead of being scared all the time.
Did you get the polio Hold on, wasn't my question about the polio vaccine, not your Tamagotchi? What?
That was last topic. I don't know if you are familiar that we're talking about COVID now, right? But
you're not keeping up to my question. I just asked you about polio, measles, and mumps.
He's still back at Tamagotchi.
Jesus. Listen, old folks can't keep up. The Tamagotchi was a reference to you not keeping up. I asked you about polio, measles, and mumps, and if you were vaccinated.
Right. So the question, you actually asked a two-part question, right? Which then had to do with both specifically being vaccinated and with seatbelts, because you did ask about that in the car seat. Remember? That exactly 2 parts. So I chose to answer a part. Now I'll choose to answer this part, right?
Morgan,
so,
shut up.
Yeah, I've gotten fucking lots of vaccines over the year. I had to get them to go to school. Got a whole fucking slew of shit whenever I
operating procedure,
right?
Like the seatbelt, you had to get those.
Yeah, but the difference here is that in this instance, like I said to begin with, if we saw numbers that like we saw during the Spanish influenza, right, or during the fucking bubonic plague, you wouldn't be sitting here having a conversation as to whether or not there should be a vaccine mandate. The whole reason why we're having a conversation is because people are not entirely convinced that they need to allow the government to control them in this way right now.
Is this an example? Critical thinking. If it's not the bubonic plague, we might not need to vaccinate. Would that be critical thinking? I don't know if it's an example of it. I don't think it is.
How many deaths would it have to prevent?
So then why did you ask it?
No, I'm just saying the name is disingenuous, and so is the take. Like, it's not the bubonic plague, so...
I'm trying to explain to you sociology at this point, right? And you're asking me why it is that people are fighting back against the idea, and that's exactly why people are fighting back against that idea. You don't have to agree or disagree. I don't really give a fuck either way, but the fact of the matter is that if people, right, saw the types of shit that was happening then, now, we wouldn't even be having a conversation as to whether or not people were willing to give up civil liberties to their body
people
to
haven't
the
seen
government
enough
in
death.
this instance.
People don't
It's
trust
not enough. Wait, it's not enough death, right? It needs
soundboard's
more people
still
need to
working.
die for
Why
us
is
to
it still
take this serious, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that when that starts happening, you'll see the minds of people change to start taking the thing to the serious degree that it would be at if you had those numbers then.
Wait,
but right now,
it's
wait,
worse
but
than the
what if
Black
the
Death. It's worse than the plague.
wait, but what if
The numbers are higher.
Yeah, pure number level, but the
More
death rate is
people
not
and
nearly.
There's more people in the world, and we're interconnected like never before.
what if people don't get on board if the numbers were to go up? What that's kind of the question, is whether or not we should have the vaccine mandates just in general. Like what is the I'm asking you, what is the number that you would need to have before we break that barrier?
Seriously? Like, what do you want? Like 500? There, 500. Is 500 lives not worth something to you?
Okay, we're way past that. So that's my question to you. Sorry.
That's the point we're trying to make. That's the point we're trying to make, right? Yeah. What numbers? Because if we keep bringing up the bubonic plague, what number would be worthy of a mandate? What number would bring you onto this team?
I don't think it's necessarily a number, but it's more of like, if you had like violently ill symptoms, like more open and visible and shocking, like the Black Plague, I think
fatal
it'd be more.
symptoms?
I'm sorry.
Like fatal symptoms?
Yeah. Oh man.
So just like influenza with vaccine, so like if it had
What
like
if it's-
scarier symptoms, you would care more. But like because the
Yeah.
flus aren't that scary, you don't care as much.
Well,
How
what's
many
the
what about-
last,
You know,
what's
like,
the
we're close
last
to
thing that
million
was
deaths, we're close
required
to
a
million
vaccine
deaths in the
mandate
United
in this
States.
country
Let him live his life.
at
man.
a scale that you guys are presenting for
Polio?
COVID? What's the? I'm sorry.
Wait, real quick.
Polio?
Mr. Geek, were you
No,
moderating?
no. Go ahead.
Well,
Drake, you were saying.
from what I saw, the polio was not. Let me not speak on this part of it actually, because what I read was smallpox, where the death rate was like 3 in 10 who got it, and that required a mass scale vaccine mandate, which is something that is much more palatable. I mean, and that's a fucked up way of saying it. I think like why again? I'm gonna bring it back to
So
this.
the number
point.
does matter.
Why? I'm going to bring it back to this point.
Okay, go ahead.
Why is it that why enforce a vaccine
Says the
mandate
number
when it
doesn't
is
matter, and then
evident
it
that it does
instantly
not-
goes back to the number
with
does
this new
matter?
Omicron variant? It is evident that it is not slowing the spread at a rate in which
I don't think it's
enforcing
his sound.
masks
I don't think
and
it's his
social
phone. I think
distancing
it's his
is.
microphone.
So
He
what's the
spent way
point
too
of
much
dying on the hill of a
That's
vaccine?
what
Wait, hold on, let me
not
finish.
spending anything on his
What is the point of dying on the hill of a vaccine mandate
Like, look at his
if you can
headphones.
just
Like, what the fuck you doing,
like
bro?
settle for a mask mandate when it's actually more effective? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, the point is to reduce the number of hospitalizations so that the healthcare system doesn't crack down and break, that you depend on for other things. That's the point, at least locally in Quebec here. Okay.
Yes,
and
right,
maybe
and
a
that's
lot
my-
of other places. Okay, so that's what your measure has to be. Essentially, your
Yes,
measure
I
has to
agree.
be non-burnt out nurses. Okay, non-burnt out nurses on staff is a great measure for how you're handling COVID. Okay, if you that's basically it.
Well, that's
Why
why
not both?
I kind of stated in the beginning, like the caveat is like if your hospital system is on the brink of being overrun, then it's a different story. And you can't say blanket that the entire United States hospital system is being overran because it's not. So
Sure.
why then implement a blanket a blanket mandate across the whole country?
But I think it's weird that you're proposing that we do one and not the other. Like they're somehow like, why not both?
Yeah,
If I agree,
all
even if I
strategies
agree
you
with
can
you,
use.
right? Even
Real
if
quick,
I
I
agree
want to
with you that
bring-
Do you realize that they
ahead.
go
If
hand in
Andre,
hand?
wait. Sorry. If Andre, I thought you were finished. After that, finish your point. After that, I want to throw it to Buzz and Joyce.
Yeah, sorry. So just to wrap up, I just think I almost agree with you. You're like almost to the point. You're saying that like social distancing and mask mandates, these things are more effective in preventing the spread. And there are areas where hospitals aren't overrun. And if we believe this to be the case, then why mandate, right? But I think you already know the reasons why the vaccine is important. And I think even if we're not talking about transmission, there is cause for like mandating. Why not both? I just don't see that one. Right? Like what? Why not?
One is injecting. I mean, I'm not trying to question it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Buzz and
It's kind of
Joystick
irreversible.
has been has his hand raised for a while. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, to address Volt's point, I appreciate you, Volt, because like you're getting quote retweeted very hard right now, and you're handling very well. So I appreciate that. Just to jump onto that dog pile again. All right, so we have been to the point in the United States where hospitals have been overrun. Like this happens when we have surges. Like when we had like the Alpha variant, the very first variant. Like I can think of like places in like Texas and I believe Missouri. Got to the point where they literally had to like figure out, okay, who's more likely to live, who's more likely to die, and the people that are more likely to die were just getting fucked. Like honestly,
New York.
We've been there before. The
Would be a
point
good
is
point
that like when we
for me
do
to say
things like
New
preventative
York.
measures,
Why are we
that
not
prevents
saying
things
that?
like
Wait.
that from happening. Like I'm pretty sure I saw like a video the other day from like CBS or something like that, where like it was like an ICU nurse back in 2020. They're like, yeah, like I had to choose like between this person or that person, so I had to tell this guy's wife, yeah, we're gonna let your husband die, we're gonna let that happen, because we're out of ventilators, we're out of like all this other shit in beds and shit. So these things happen, Volp, like, and we're all in this together. Once again, where does Zac Efron? I'm gonna Corbin Blue this shit. So yeah, that was my point. Like, there are consequences for everybody's individual actions. There are consequences, as that one kid said.
What are we talking about mandates? Are you talking about like it's illegal to not be vaccinated? Like you'll
I
either
believe
pay
the
a fine
Biden
or
vaccine
prison time?
mandate-
Like is that what we're talking about?
No. In the United States, Biden's mandate is more like, I think like if a company has, correct me if I'm
100
wrong here,
employees.
100 employees,
Yeah.
everybody has to get vaccinated by, I think the date has already passed. So people have been let go from certain jobs, especially like state and government jobs, for not being vaccinated. I'm for it. Like, open up that job market, whatever.
If the,
Real
yeah, if the
quick,
companies want to
sorry.
contribute in that way, why not inside their organizations? These are the rules.
I want
Yeah,
real
but
quick.
you
I
don't
want to pray to. Sorry, I want to pray to everyone but Triggs. I'm joking. Triggs, go ahead.
Hey, I don't know how I didn't remember this until just now, but pretty much there's a thing where you don't have to get vaccinated in Australia, but at least for my state, you don't have to get vaccinated, and your job, it depends on your employer if they can require you or not. But there's a thing now where if you're not double vaccinated, you cannot, so you can go get groceries and stuff, and there's like a list of locations you're allowed to visit. But if you do not show proof of vaccination at the door, you're not allowed in bars, nightclubs, restaurants, cinemas, hair salons, anywhere that's pretty much not doctor and grocery store.
Cinema.
Now,
You're
alcohol
not-
and weed in Quebec, you can't get them in person.
Yeah, so pretty much it's not a vaccine mandate where it's like, oh, it's illegal to not be vaccinated. But unless you have like it's like on your phone, so because the paper ones can get faked, it's on your phone and it moves with your phone, so like you can see that it's like not just a screenshot. And unless you have an official thing that's from it gets sent from your doctor to the government app, and it says like I'm medically exempt because I have XYZ. You have to be double vaxxed to pretty much go anywhere. And so you can live a life of not being double vaxxed, but you cannot do anything. You're stuck with your house and you're stuck with the grocery store and like outdoor like parks. And that is it. And I think it's awesome. And I want to hear your takes. And I don't want to hear anything about a prison colony.
Would you ban the grocery store? Would you ban the grocery store from unvaccinated people?
Genuinely, yeah. Because that's where it's getting spread most often because they're showing up with no masks and anything.
Let them get online groceries, right?
Yes, literally.
I mean, yeah, it's no extra cost.
All right, Mary Antoinette.
So I think
and
you guys.
There is a thing where so you have to be double vaccinated for certain places, and even the places where you don't have to be, like grocery store and doctor, you still have to wear a mask. But if you throw a big enough fit, you can get in anywhere.
All right.
Because everyone's working minimum wage.
I want to pray to a next research and after that vote.
So first, I want to say Montreal, you're 100% right. I agree. We should have social programs to give everyone access to the internet. Second, when we talk about
vaccine mandates, maybe you have to accommodate them.
Hey, I'm saying no matter what. But when we're talking about exemptions, I actually feel the more blanket that the mandate is, I am more and more okay with different exemptions. Almost to the point where I want to say, let's have a blanket mandate and literally have philosophical exemption as part of it, because there's so many people who just aren't getting the vaccine just because they feel like they don't have time, or they're like, oh, I don't know if it's going to help me. Oh, the numbers aren't high enough here. And then they get screwed, right? So I'm fine if that's an exemption. We need to have some way to incentivize people to go and get the vaccine.
I mean,
all
I
right,
think
Volk.
supposing... sorry.
Sorry, I want to pray to vote, and after that, I'd open it. Vote, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it crush? Yeah, I think it did. So yeah, Montreal.
You don't think? I mean, look, in Quebec, we've made it basically, bars, restaurants. Okay, they just did alcohol and weed, so we have a specific government-owned alcohol store, and you can't go there. It's the only place you can get hard liquor. You can still get beer at the grocery store, but the people are talking about grocery stores as well, right? And I wonder how many people it leaves out in the cold for philosophical. I mean, that's pretty hard incentive. Again, dense populated areas, living in the city or even the suburbs or something like that, you have to get it. You're in contact with people all the time, right? Those environments, it makes sense. But I mean, if you're out, kind of, you see two people maybe in the week, do you really need it? You're masking up when you do. You don't have a lot of interactions. Do we have to drag you out of your home and make it happen?
Wait, but if you're only seeing like 2 or 3 people per week, what mandate is making you need to get the vaccine?
Right, exactly. What kind of mandates? Like, I agree
no. I'm saying no one is proposing a mandate where they would need to get that vaccine, right? Even the OSHA mandate from Biden wouldn't make them have to get it.
Right. Okay. So we're not talking about like it's illegal to not be non-vax. Isn't what did they do in Austria? I was gonna look that up, but
I actually
didn't they
didn't
make
know
it
that, but I
illegal
don't remember anymore.
Didn't they make it illegal to be non-vaxxed, right? With fines and perhaps jail time if you can't pay.
Yeah, sure. You know what? Here's our common ground. I don't think we should do that. There you go.
Yeah, so the fact of the matter is that if we didn't have instances where people that are in
God, he was
government
gonna catch me
power
on
were
saying
being
that people should be thrown
hypocritical,
in
right?
jail for not getting
I.e., a good
vaccines.
example of this would be AOC running around partying in Florida, right? Or even news media personalities like Don Lemon, right? Being hypocritical, right, when it comes to the rhetoric that they're preaching and the potential mandates that they would want to put onto the people, right, versus what it is that is good for everyone else, right? And that's where in this case, in order, at least for me, looking at the sociology of it, you've got a lot of people that see this types of behavior and they go, well, if it was actually that serious, I wouldn't be seeing that shit going on, and therefore their government's attempt to try to control me yet again is only an exercise in tyrannical pushes that we've been seeing by the federal government for the last 100 years in our fucking republic. So you'll have to forgive the people's notion that they actually remembered history and how, things like the Patriot Act got fucking passed. And then we end up having huge losses of rights to privacy and everything over the fucking years. So, like, these things are still fresh in the minds of everyday American citizens. And you're going to have to just, take it with a grain of salt that the numbers aren't to the level that it would have those people that are looking outside the situation in going, if I saw this, then I would be like, yeah, let's fucking get this thing done. But since they're not seeing that, and they also see this other behavior, they're not signing on with what the government wants to do.
I keep jumping into this because I think it's kind of a silly point, and I don't know what the numbers are. You said the bubonic plague, but like what would, so assuming you're not vaccinated, I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that, but what number, like you're saying if it were more serious, how serious ought it be for you and others to get?
Well, like during
or
the
people who
Spanish, just a quick look on Wikipedia for the Spanish flu, right? 25 to 50 million people is the rough estimates on there, and the numbers go anywhere from 17.5 million to 100 million people that died during the Spanish flu, right? So the numbers are not comparable because there just hasn't been as many deaths with regard to COVID. So that's kind of my point, and I think that would be, outside looking in, as a sociologist looking at it, that's what their mentality would be.
Wouldn't you say 5.4 million deaths is like a lot? Like that's a lot. Maybe it's not Spanish flu, but isn't 5.
Authoritarianism?
That's a great question, but not really related. My question again is like, I'm I'm not saying like this is such a weird straw man that like because I think people should be vaccinated or mandated to vaccinate. I think that everyone should be like drawn out of their house in an authoritarian way and like in their underwear, like poked by 4 needles. This is like so silly, right? The mandate isn't even that heavy-handed. And again, to CTV's point, and I don't mind talking to both of you at the same time, but to CTV's point, 5.4 million is like enough. That's a good enough number, dude. I don't think it needs to be 20 million or 100 million for you to take this serious and get vaccinated. I think 5 is good. 5 million is plenty, no?
So that's a number that's good enough for you, but it's not a number good enough in the minds of the rest of the people that are affecting this.
Sure, but 20 would be right. Just to be clear. No, don't. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. No, I'm talking to CTV. What is it? Is it 20? Is the number 20? What number is it?
It's going to depend on how it affects the society. And since this things came into thing, like when Spanish influenza hit, it hit hard, right? And like the numbers shot up very quickly, right? And it took a while for it to move its way back out of the population. We haven't seen that happen in that way with COVID. Therefore.
So let me apologize for ignoring your anecdote earlier, because now I want your personal opinion, like not your sociologist take, like your personal opinion. If 20 million deaths had happened, would you consider getting vaccinated? Or
I think that if in the same as my personal as
20 million, no. 30 million, 100 billion.
Okay.
The point. No, I'm having a discussion with CTV about the severity of the issue, and it seems like to CTV this hasn't happened in a way that is serious enough for him and people who share his opinion to get vaccinated, or at least to consider mandates a net good. And I'm asking how big does this number have to be? How devastating? Because Spanish influenza is what he's been talking about, and I think the number he quoted was 20 million, and we're at 5 million, right? Or was it? I don't.
And specifically, what we're talking about is government control, which is where I keep the argument centered, right? Is that, the vaccine being available for people to go get, people can go get it if they wish. The government
Sure.
telling them to go do a thing, or they're going to, force them out of their job, right?
Yeah.
Any
So
number of things because of that, right? That's where like the lines get fucking drawn.
right. And I'm asking where you would draw the line, both personally and for other people to get mandated for a vaccine. If this number hits
Well,
20
honestly,
million,
there's no way. There's no way for me to answer that question, and here's
no,
why.
then
And here's
that's so
fucking
silly.
why. If you want to have a conversation and get to fucking know the way that I think about the thing, I have not been alive through a pandemic like the Spanish flu for me to know what that looks like in everyday society. For me to know that, like, hey, this is the fucking thing now. We can sit here and arbitrarily come up with fucking numbers.
No, you
and
came
say,
up with
"Oh,
it. It was
this'll
your
be
number.
fucking
It was
enough."
your example. It was your example. You said
And the
this thing
example
was more
given
severe.
to be able to paint the picture of then, right? So what these societal fucking implications would be then, right? So in that situation, I would see that, like, hey, people are falling out, the fucking everything's overrun, people are dying out in the street. Yeah, it's about time the government steps in and do a thing. But since I'm not seeing that now, there's no way for me to know
but it
what
doesn't-
the fucking
so
how that's going,
then
what
it's not
number
the
it is
number, it's-
in society
so
is
it's-
going to look.
So it's not the number, the scale of the event. What you're talking about is chaos. If there were chaos in your like local environment in your city, then you would do it. But you're not saying like 20 million people dying, million people dying is like relevant, right? Because you quoted the number or the event, and I just wanted to see what brought you to this conclusion and what would bring you to the conclusion again. And you're saying if you
The
go to
other
Walmart
example
and
that
people
was
are,
brought
like,
up was the
stealing
bubonic
water.
plague, though, right?
Sure,
Okay,
but I'm
real
asking.
quick, I'm sorry to jump in. I just want to say I want to let basically you go back and forth one more time, but after that we're gonna have to go into closing statement. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I just think it's kind of like it's just weird. I want to engage with you on this point in good faith, but I don't think that you're willing to. And I think that this is my problem with it is like if we move the goalposts again and again and again, then there's no way that we could ever enforce mandate or could have mandates enforced, right? Is because I'm saying what number, what event, what would lead you to personally getting vaccinated and agreeing with a mandate
I am pretty proud, though,
happening.
'cause
And you're saying, well, like, well,
we
what
hardly
about
got into
Spanish
mistrust
influenza?
of the
Okay, cool. I
CDC,
mean, I
or else
disagree,
I'd
but if
shut
it
that
were
shit down
to get to this level, would you
So,
agree with the
I'm
mandate?
at least proud of
Or
that.
would
You
you?
wouldn't need death.
Well,
You said you wouldn't need deaths?
No, I don't
Oh,
think
sorry,
so.
sorry.
I think
Okay,
if you
sorry.
just want to let
Montreal, since it's not my show, I think
Didn't have to
Geek
go into
wanted
any of the hoaxes, which I was at least
CTV to
happy
respond and then us to do
I'm
closing
done.
statements, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, specifically, if the situation, we'll word it like this, right? If the situation was similar to bubonic plague or Spanish influenza, you wouldn't have a problem with the people allowing mandates. Now, I personally don't have a problem with states, local municipalities handling this thing. The problem comes in whenever you or the prison colony down there fucking wants to put
It's
this
dumb.
down at
I'm gonna
the
go let the dogs
national
in and
level.
This guy straight up disappeared.
I'll be back. It's just dumb. It's not a response.
Okay.
Hop out.
All right. With that being said, we're gonna go into closing statement, and we're going to start with bars and joysticks. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, great. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for the back and forth on everything. Like, good points were raised. CTV, I think I have a few questions that I never thought about before, but you've brought those questions to my noggin. I'm gonna bring it to yours too. All right, so we're talking about the Spanish flu, right? Something that happened 100 years ago. So with the Spanish flu, it did kill a fuck ton of people, like way more than COVID's killing now. But like we have to like take into account like our standards of living, like today versus 100 years ago, are completely different. We have like higher rates of hygiene, like we're bathing more, washing our hands more, wiping our bottoms more. We are having we're seeing higher rates of nutrition. Like I don't think people are like really complaining too much about like when their next meal is coming from too much in the United States. So I wonder how much that affects like the deadliness of COVID versus the Spanish flu. I don't know if this is like a good like back and forth comparison. Like even besides like hygiene and nutrition, like even like our comfort levels have risen, right? Like I think we all get more sleep now.
Is much more complex as well.
We're in closing statement. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. So I'm just closing with this question. So pretty much I'm curious, like if COVID happened 100 years ago, do you think it'd be as deadly or possibly deadlier than the Spanish flu? I don't have the answer to that. I don't know if you do. just like taking into account that we have.
I think we
this isn't like a
can we
one-to-one
have the
comparison
answer to
between COVID
that?
and Spanish flu.
Because Adelphus, like you brought this
if
up.
our nutrition,
That's actually like
and
a
our
really
like
curious question.
quality of living and life and hygiene and things like that were the same way it was 100 years ago, like maybe COVID would be deadlier. I'm not entirely sure. The reason why a lot of people live through COVID is because we have things like ventilators and like liquid oxygen. We didn't have that 100 years ago. We have we have vitamin C pills that we can just like buy for $5 from Walmart. We didn't have that 100 years ago. So I don't know, just take that into account when you're thinking about these things. I definitely will. I'm very curious about the answer to that. And I hope you guys are as well. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to fade to Montreal.
Oh yeah, I've been talking now. I don't know what to say. COVID's going to happen again. It's not going to be called COVID. It's going to be a different thing. It's going to. I mean, look. The problem is that we're so interconnected in the world. Okay, right now, disease gets to fly on Delta Airlines.
I'm actually glad he asked that because damn,
get tossed out of
this is
the.
such an
Which was the
easy
one that
done.
tossed out the people? Anyways. It can do that too. It travels on planes all over the place. So when we have a pandemic that spreads like this, it's worldwide. It's a whole world thing. And the measures that you would put in place to clamp down on that thing, they're permanent because we're going to need them again and again. You know,
right,
people are going to take care of them, and we'll have institutions built around them. And when they're centralized like that, they'll be taken over by other forces that are not really, don't really have your best interest at heart. And that's it. Do you want to centralize them? I don't. That's it. As far as I forgot the other stuff we were talking about. Anyways, I think that's it. Unremarkable, I guess. Closing statement from me.
All right. I'm going to fade to my Dovze.
Okay. So the question at the start was, should mass vaccine mandates be withheld? No, because one, it's your personal body, you can choose, and two, the government shouldn't decide what you do and not do. And it's too hard to tell
the master of the right wing
at this moment whether we should. Honestly, I think we should add more hospitals, because at this point, some hospitals are being overflowed to the point where, like what Taj said, or whoever said it, that people are saying, okay, who can live, who will live, who will die. If you're gonna die, go die at your home, pretty much. So that's what I say.
All right. I'm going to fade to honest research.
Yeah, so Joystick actually got me wondering what actually the death numbers were for the Spanish flu, because obviously we can't compare it with the technology and the vaccines and everything like that nowadays. But according to this, the CDC reports that an estimated 675,000 Americans died during the 1918 pandemic. So that gets me a little bit curious as to whether or not that affects some people's opinions. But also I wanted to respond to something that CTV mentioned. Look, I agree that AOC or whatever shouldn't be going out and partying. Yeah, that's dumb. And I do understand that humans are fallible and that that's going to affect someone's opinions of certain topics because they see their officials doing this, but I don't think that invalidates any arguments or any points that we've brought up. Also, I want to say I zoned out for a moment because I thought I was just listening to a Hippy Dippy podcast. I think it's really fucking cool that I'm here, so thank you. All right, I yield.
Yay.
Happy to have you on board.
Thanks for addressing my point.
I'm going to fade to Tricks.
My closing statement for this, and not addressing anyone, is basically I think that the COVID restrictions should be amplified 100-fold, and I think that they should be implemented at a national level rather than at a smaller level that a lot of people are implying. I think that vaccine mandates, it shouldn't be like, oh my god, it's illegal for you not to get the vaccine, but it should be like what we're doing where it's, hey, you can be unvaccinated, you just can't go anywhere. Good luck having a social life. I think that lifting restrictions, especially in terms of like borders with traveling, like we just had over the major holidays, you can see that the spike can just absolutely destroy you. My city is now destroyed for the next foreseeable future. Love it. A lot of points that I made never got addressed and got dismissed as me being from a prison colony. Loved that. Really, really made sure that I had a solid point there. I think that, yeah, wear your masks, social distance, make sure that places have capacity rules. And I do think, honestly, that if the COVID happened at the time of the plague, it would have been 100 times worse and it would have decimated them. Bye, guys.
No, it stayed in Wuhan, honestly.
All right. I'm going to fade to Volp.
So first off, I just want to say that this has been really fun. I like we're all engaging in good faith. So to my actual closing, I want to say that I really like what Montreal said about how a lot of unvaccinated people actually do care about COVID. They wear their masks and they social distance. So I really hate the demonization of unvaccinated people and the morality argument of being unvaccinated versus vaccinated. But I think, you know, I'm for schools enforcing it. I'm for the military enforcing it on a scale that we have, you know, we're familiar with in the past. But I think that I'm not really okay with vaccine mandates being pushed on a blanket level. It comes down to like, you know, hospitalization rate and stuff. But again, I want to give some merit to Bars and Joysticks' point against me by saying, you know, it's sometimes hard to differentiate that. It's sometimes hard to like pick that apart and see exactly. And how do you implement that vaccine mandate on a level that's so hyper specific? But you know, that's it. I'll leave it there.
All right. I'm going to fade to A400.
Yeah, I want to say, is it Honest Research? Honest Research, I think it's really cool that you're like vibing and enjoying this. I hope to see you on a bunch more panel shows. I will actually say that this is the real show. You guys don't know this, but Dylan Burns, before Dana Bo in Montreal invited me on the recruitment show, Dylan Burns invited me on the actual Hippy Dippy show, and I said no thank you. I was not interested. But Dana Bo and Montreal are dope as fuck, and I think the show is fun, and I was happy to take this invitation, and also they blackmailed me. No, I this is a cool show, and thank you for having me on. As far as COVID vaccines and mandates, I think largely we're all coming from similar places that we don't want to get sick, we don't want our loved ones to get sick, and also to a degree don't want our lives to be controlled. And I think I can empathize with these points. I also want to give a shout out to those of you, Void and Montreal, who are empathetic to anti-vaxxers, although I am not. As much as I should be myself, I think it is dope for you to hold space for these people, because you know they want the same things we do. Obviously,
they're humans.
Yeah, we ought respect their humanity. I disagree with CT. I think I've already said that. I get so passionate about this because I would love to have conversations with folk that are not on the same side as me and perhaps are more right leaning. But we have to come to some agreement. And when I feel like it's disingenuine or there is no I don't know, good faith is overused, right? But I think we have to come to some sort of consensus about when this is good and if it's ever acceptable. And if we don't, then I don't know, what's the point of having the conversations anyway?
People in the chat are saying that he's just saying this because CTV is right. He never gave us a number. We tried so hard.
The fact of the matter is that
so much to
when it comes to the state level handling the issue, I don't have any problem with the state figuring out how best that they want to have things work inside their state, right? And I don't give a fuck what the rest of the world thinks because this is the American government structure that we work in here. And if you can't respect our form of government, then how the fuck am I supposed to respect your opinion on it moving forward from there? So, because our system is built the way that it is, this issue needs to be handled at the state level, and any person that would think that the argument is disingenuous is just trying to push control of the issue up to the federal government, which is exactly where conservatives want to hold the power of the thing at the state level. So there's no reason to be assuming disingenuousness. It's just a lack of lack of understanding of the conservative value system and why it is that they structure their takes the way that they do, because they literally want power as close to the individual as possible. So
I never brought up that you're statistically more.
And I count myself in that fucking camp. That's why I'm the conservative main boss. And I feel like no one has come close to defeating the argument tonight. You know what? People go out. If you feel like you need the vaccine, go get the vaccine. If you feel like you need to wear a mask, wear a fucking mask. I haven't had any problem for the majority of my life making sure people fucking social distance from me, because I prefer don't be within. If you're within my arm, reach. That's pretty intimate anyway.
You live distance too, because you don't have a lot of points of contact, just like
It's true. It's true, right? So, So I live my life kind of inside but outside society as it is. So as far as being a responsible citizen, I know that I am, and I definitely hold to the things that I
gun
say.
is on his
And I
desk.
feel like that if from a much bigger picture, if we saw the types of things, because I looked at the COVID numbers worldwide, I got 5.5 million people, right? And yet when I look at the Spanish influenza numbers, we've got anywhere from 17.5 million to 100 million for the fucking world, and roughly the same numbers in the United States. So I'm still not seeing big picture to that scale of event. How can these it comes down to how people perceive the things.
We had
And since people are
mandates.
perceiving the thing
So
to
maybe we
be
should argue
in
to
their everyday
perceive it
life as
better
bad
rather
as
than
that, it's
arguing
going to be
against it.
hard
Why we
for
arguing
the
against it?
government
Why
to
we doing
convince
that?
them that yet
Come
one
on,
more
CTV.
right needs to be fucking handed over to the
CTV.
federal government instead of holding it at the state level, which is where it should be.
All right. And with that being said, that concludes this topic, and I just wanted once again to thank everyone for being here. Again, had a blast. So yeah, thank you everyone, and go ahead in everyone's chat, follow our wonderful panelists. They 100% deserve it. So yeah, and also twitch.tv/Danabo. He's doing a wonderful work behind the scene. Yeah, if you're here, it's thanks to him. So yeah. And let's go into the next topic. And before that, we're going to bring someone. I hope. Oh, he's already here. How are you doing,
What's
friends?
up, motherfuckers?
Hey.
I said that on
let this
purpose.
guy in the fucking room.
I said that on purpose because of Andre. He doesn't
just-
like it when I say motherfucker with the hard R.
It's so corny. I'm sorry. If you're on this panel and you're white, you say motherfucker.
If I was-
Weird.
If
It's
I
weird.
came on and said it the other way, though, I would have sounded even
True.
cornier. So
Yep. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's our word also.
Who let this motherfucker in the room, huh?
It's like oddly racist. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it sounds too sus.
yeah, exactly. That's why I have to go with listen, I'm from West Virginia. What do you want me to do, man? I don't know what to tell you.
Don't be from West Virginia. That's what you should do.
Well, you know.
So
yeah,
making inbreeding jokes now?
Whoa.
No one said anything about inbreeding. That was you. You came up with that on your own, dude. What the
Wow,
fuck?
even the
Oh,
Canadians
shit.
know about West Virginia.
Okay. With that being said, so yeah, welcome, friends. Thank you for joining us. And with that being said, we're going to jump into the last topic, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to just moderate for that one.
Oh god.
Or you want to switch it up?
Oh, you wanna? Why don't you give the topic and I'll give a take and then just run? Is that cool? Because I think Freems is gonna take my spot anyway, right?
Oh god. If Andre does
alright.
that, he gives a take and runs. He knows I'm gonna be in his chat later. Fucking.
Alright, let me start the
bitching
topic.
about
That
it.
way you can give your take and everything. So yeah, Pizza Debate 2.0. As decided during the fuck you, Danabo. As decided during the last pizza debate, the crust is the most important part of pizza. What is the second most important part? Sauce or toppings? And what is the worst part? And what is the worst pizza topping? And why is it anchovies?
Ooh. Yeah, I'd like to give a
Alright,
couple
with that,
bad
yeah.
pizza takes. Yeah, let me give a couple bad pizza takes and get out of here. Yeah, so as an annoying vegan, I eat pizza without cheese. Ugh, there's some vegan cheeses out there. I wouldn't recommend them. They all taste funny. Fun fact, originally pizza was made without cheese. So if you look into the origins of it, it didn't have cheese. It's not a thing that's super important. Also, what's delicious on pizza is pineapples. And if you disagree, you're fucking wrong. It's so good. Fuck you, pay me. Also, I don't need any more followers. Don't come to my channel and follow me. Don't come to my channel talking about how many deaths is enough. I don't give a fuck about your political opinions. I have a business channel. Come to my channel if you have money. I already have 30,000 followers. But if you do want to follow somebody, I'd give a huge shout out to Mr. Geek and a huge shout out to Danabo. Even though Danabo borrows the topics from my stream and recycles them here, it's still a great panel. Geek is still a great host. Follow them. Yeah, help those channels grow. Also, Dylan Burns, make your show as fun as this one, because this one's more fun. I've done both. This one's way more fun. Dylan Burns, level it up. This is pay these guys, get like them. I'm out. I love you guys. Thank you. Mwah. Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Nice meeting you, Andre.
All right,
Talking
so
shit on
He's
cheese.
rolling the
Bullshit.
sig?
I didn't sign up for
Frames,
this.
go ahead, give your take.
Well, first off, Danabo is 100% correct. If he's the one who wrote the question, the crust is the best part. You can strip everything off and still eat the crust.
Morgan, what did you say
Also,
about pizza earlier? You
anchovies
said it's like a
sound like a
salad.
very, I don't know, canned fish on my pizza. That sounds fucking disgusting. Throw it away. I'm not going to eat a tuna pizza. I'm not going to eat an anchovy pizza. I'm not going to eat a strummen pizza. Keep it all the fuck away from it. No fish on my pizza. All right. I don't know how anyone can argue with this. I can't imagine this topic lasting more than 10 minutes because obviously anchovies are disgusting. Oh, the other thing, I had to pick one more thing. Definitely the sauce. Absolutely. I can eat a pizza without
He is
cheese.
in
I cannot
Montreal.
eat a pizza that is just bread and cheese. So
Quebec? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Wherever he is, I'm pretty sure it's legal.
Sorry. I'm going to afraid to tricks.
First of all, the question is wrong because I hate crust. I think crust is the worst part of the pizza in total. Like, you could put anything on it and I'll be like, it's a pizza. And then if you're like, here's the crust, I'll be like, I'm not eating the garbage. You can throw that away, please. I think that pineapple is the best topping, and I agree that anchovies is the worst. But there is even worse than that. Is people like weird aunts who are like, oh yeah, we're gonna make it healthy. Here's some fucking eggplant. Here's some carrot. Once you get into like niche vegetables on pizza, it's a salad, and I think it's wrong. I don't really have any pizza takes because I fucking hate pizza. I don't eat it. I hate it.
Oh my god, that must be because you come from a
Fucking
prison
hates
colony.
pizza.
Wait.
Fucking hates
We're
humans.
still in opening. I still need to hear all of your shitty takes. All right, Buzz and Joysticks, go.
All right, I think I have the best take on the panel regarding pizza. All right, so I think pizza sauce is very overrated. That tomatoey bullshit is some bullshit, bro. Like you can replace that with so many other things. You can replace it with barbecue sauce. You can replace it with Chick-fil-A's Polynesian sauce. You can replace it with creamy Alfredo or ranch.
Don't
or
worry, Morgan.
even,
I'll make sure that you're
pesto.
validated.
Replace the pizza sauce of literally any other sauce besides mustard and mayonnaise and things like that. But like, yeah, pizza sauce is mad overrated. And then once you get rid of the pizza sauce and replace it with like a nice sweet barbecues and sky's the limit on that one. You can add bacon to it. You can add like little burger pieces to it. You can add like
shit. I just realized I flashed the
and
white power symbol.
pepperonis.
Fuck, are people gonna call me
just
out for
fuck
that?
the pizza sauce. Replace it. That's my take.
Vold, go ahead.
All right, well, you might be
I have
more
to go
pissed off,
pee and making me
Mr. Geek,
go
about my
last.
take. So I'm gonna have to kind of agree with Bars and Joysticks here. You know, you got stuff like chicken bacon ranch pizza. You have white slice, like with ricotta cheese and stuff like that. So you could easily make the argument that the sauce could be the first thing to go off the pizza. But to say what's the second most important, I'd be curious if we're gonna make a differentiation between like the crust itself, like, you know, like the piece of crust versus like the underside of the pizza, right? Because then that comes into the crust is like cooking. Your cooking time is going to determine like the nice crunchiness of your crust, but your dough recipe is also going to determine, you know, how rigid it is and the nice flavor that it brings. So I would argue to say that the dough in itself is the number 2 most important thing aside from the crust. I'll leave now if you want.
Mind of Zico. I rather not speak right now.
Okay, first off, I'm having a brain aneurysm from the last two takes. Number 1, the sauce is the most important part of the pizza. Number 2, pineapple does not belong on pizza. And number 3, why the fuck do we have fish on pizza? If we want to have a seafood pizza for weirdos like other people who like anchovies on pizza, for fuck's sake. That's my take.
Sorry, it's out fun. Who did I forget so far?
Me.
All right, honest research, go. And Montreal left.
I kind of want to try calamari on pizza. I yield.
It's good. It's really good.
Montreal, go ahead.
Yeah, favorite topping on a pizza. I mean, how can you have one favorite? There's so many different combinations. Sometimes different things are the star. Try some variety in your life. The worst topping on a pizza has to be your worst enemy's fecal matter. I can't think of a worse topping for pizza. It tastes disgusting and it makes me feel terrible in other ways. And I think that's probably by far the worst pizza experience you could possibly have, by having your worst enemy's fecal matter on your pizza. Yeah, that's it.
My worst enemy is yeast, so beer. And beer cheese pizza isn't so bad.
Oh, that's
Sorry,
interesting. That's an interesting one.
Wait,
I like that.
wait. Sorry, we're still in opening. CTV, go.
So I think it's obvious, right, to anybody that's not a communist, right? It's motherfucking, sauce, cheese, pepperoni, and or sausage. Okay, it's a classic American pizza, right? We fucking culturally appropriated it years ago, right? So get the fuck over yourselves. It's now American.
It
Okay?
immigrated. It immigrated to America.
Yeah. So it's here, right? This is where it was born the right way, right? And now we've added variants to this thing, right? And now all of the variants have infiltrated the rest of the world, and we've been delighting tongues all over the planet. Okay? So I don't know what to tell you, but that's just how it is.
And with that being said, the floor is yours.
All right, let me go real quick. By raise of hands, who has had anchovies before?
On pizza specifically, or just by themselves?
On pizza. Right. So here's the thing. I lied on my opening statement because Danabo asked me to piss off Mr. Geek. Most people who say they don't like anchovies on pizza have never fucking had it. And to say that it doesn't belong there, it's actually like on the original pizza. It's like one of the few things that were on what we stole it from. Anchovies were a common ingredient or any type of fermented fish, actually, not just anchovies. Anchovies are actually really good on pizza. I recommend people try it. But I get tired every time I come on this panel and we have like a food debate. And people shit on something, then I realize they never had it. Just like my microwave cheesecake. I'm just saying.
We'll try again tomorrow.
Wow.
Get out.
So
Go.
essentially, we're at CTV. Most base take. Everyone else is stunned silent. Got it.
Okay, if the floor's open, I'll
Why
go.
you calling me out as a cop out? That's
Because you didn't actually give an ingredient. You just gave
Yeah,
something
bro, I said
disgusting.
calamari on pizza. You're gonna call me basic?
CTV is like the king of giving like milk toast takes
ingredient on pizza.
and then saying that he won. It blows my mind. You gave the most milk toast generic taste ever, like pepperoni, sausage, and like. Never
Yeah,
mind.
get some flavor. Get a palate.
Yeah, grow up.
Look, just because you guys are used to eating cheap ingredients, right, and just
No,
getting
you
the
should
fucking...
eat like a 6-year-old.
You know what? You motherfuckers are probably the ones that end up with oil in your cheese instead of fucking milk. All right, that's probably the kind of shit that you're fucking on,
Yeah,
and you don't
because
get
it's
the quality
delicious.
ingredients.
And you're the kind of person
You
who only
think
eats
that
cheese that comes out of a plastic wrapper individually. So
no, that's sliced cheese. That's something completely different. That's not the kind of cheese that we're talking about as far as the pizza is concerned. We're talking about your motherfucking mozzarella. You know, we're talking about right.
That's a big word for CTV.
Hey.
Aren't you sick of eating the same pizza over and over and over again? Don't you want some fucking variety once in a while? Jesus Christ.
Okay, oh yeah, variety, but the topic right now is pizza. It's pizza right now. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so
The best political strategy is to have a common enemy, right? So we should all target Trix, because she just said in my chat, help me advocate for prawns. How wrong is that?
Wow.
Okay, so hold on.
Wow.
I don't know about you guys, but prawns is like the most common ingredient in terms of like meat on pizza. It's one of the most common ingredients. Prawns on pizza, you like a cooked prawn on like a supreme or something like that, on like a seafood pizza, incredible. But what doesn't go on the seafood pizza is anchovies, because they're just slimy and the texture.
Don't weasel your way out, Trix.
You can
Stop
talk about taste as. I'm not weaseling. I will advocate for prawns any day of the week. Literally.
The hell's a prawn?
it's like a big shrimp, right?
It's like this big. It's not even that big.
What is it?
I mean,
it's like a little crustacean. It's got like a little head and arms and a tail.
So a
and
big
you take all that off
shrimp.
and
Oh, so this is like a prison colony word.
like-
Okay,
it's
I'm
like a
learning
little-
something.
Prison colony. I'm gonna start taking shots every time CTV mentions America. Maybe that'll help.
We don't advocate for.
Maybe then I'll be able to understand his
I'm
takes.
sorry.
America is the
For
new
One Direction,
Australia.
You're wrong. I'm sorry. I'm French who invented food. Before that, you were cooking rock. So I'm going to jump in for once.
No, you're
Like,
You're
so
French
fucking
and don't get
wrong.
right.
No,
You didn't
I
get
don't
right.
care. I don't care. I will mute you all. I don't care. This is over. Playtime is over. There's a new sheriff
Do
in
you
town.
have a white flag?
But no. Anchovies belong on pizza. Anchovies that you preserve in salt. Why? Because they're fucking salty. You add that with the sauce, and whoever said that sauce doesn't matter on pizza, you're just a monster. You have no palate. Like your taste buds are all gone. That's all I have to say. So, sauce is essential on pizza. And like when you put a tomato basis with some anchovies, which are super salty, the tomato sauce will absorb the salt. So you get this smoky, like salty flavor from the anchovies, and you get anchovies that are good and not slimy and everything. That's why anchovies belong on pizza. That's why sauce is like the most essential part. I yield. Frips, go ahead. Sorry.
I want to say.
Don't y'all know how to pick up
about,
angry Frenchmen.
Before you talk about how like French invented cooking, French cuisine is just food that they stole from Italy, by the way. Just want to throw that out there for you.
You're just wrong.
Look it up. The culinary arts. I wouldn't even say immigrated. It was like it's like a cultural thing that happened when.
He must be smart.
Yeah.
He has an
Anyways,
accent.
You're right.
Because
So to kind of
friend-
debunk the sauce take, like Mr. Geek, have you ever had like a chicken bacon ranch pizza?
No, we
oh
have
my
real
god!
food.
I'm tired of these
What
fucking
about white
anarchist pizza
ranch?
takes.
This
about
bitch
white
said
pizza?
ranch.
White
Ranch
pizza
is-
with ricotta cheese? No?
Ricotta.
What about bacon
Ranch
cheeseburger?
does not belong on pizza.
Or barbecue bacon cheeseburger?
Wait, first of all, bacon is the most overrated shit ever.
Oh,
so-
okay. Now I can't take you seriously at all.
Yeah, Tricks. Why don't you like
Ranch
ranch?
is
American
not a real
bacon is
sauce.
overrated.
I'm sorry, this
It's all
is just
just fat.
fast food. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I just want to know why Tricks has a
Ranch is
thing
not
with
a real
ranch.
sauce.
I think that ranch is disgusting, and I think that it's the worst sauce out of them.
I think-
Why is that?
I don't understand the obsession.
Yeah, but-
I don't get it.
Is it why?
If you want a sauce like ranch, but you don't want it because it just tastes gross, just go with like a nice garlic
It's just
aioli.
Have you ever had any Hidden Valley ranch?
mayonnaise?
Or is, I mean, who's
Yeah.
manufacturing your ranch?
I've had like most common brands of ranch, believe it or not. We have
You know what?
We have
I know-
ingredients.
I got it. They probably spoiled by the time they made it over to the prison colony.
Cop out. Thank you.
Well, wait, that might actually
we
be a
go back
valid
to-
point. Shipping to Australia sucks.
No, it's not.
It
No.
sucks.
Yes, it is.
It does.
Don't you have any sauces indigenous to the area?
What the fuck?
Yeah, wait, no, genuine
Maybe
question.
you can
No,
blend
wait,
some
I'm curious.
pumpkins
Is ranch
together and boil
produced
them
in
with onions and
Australia?
something.
Yes
That
or
would be a
no?
sauce.
What? Hold on, honest, I didn't hear you.
Sorry.
Is ranch produced anywhere in Australia?
Yes, we have ranch. We have food. We make food. But
I don't
I've
know if
I've also tried like American ranch. I just don't get the hype. I don't understand the obsession.
It's
I
because
would like
everyone over
any
here eats
form of
like 5
explanation.
year. Yeah, it's because everyone over here
Yeah.
eats like 5-year-olds. Like,
And that
ranch
just
is-
kind of furthers my take on on CTV having the palate of a 4-year-old.
ranch
I'm
is good
hearing
for
pep-
making your
hearing
microwave
pepperoni
nuggies
pizza.
palatable.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm hearing
not here for
I'm
this-
hearing pepperoni
ahead,
pizza
sorry.
and I'm hearing ranch and I'm thinking this is a 6-year-old menu at a restaurant.
I'm not
Wait,
here for any of
if
this
you're- does that
U.S.
fit
food
your-
slander. You know nothing about my professional chef background, so I'd like you to keep those comments to a minimum.
Every time I come on this fucking panel, there's a supposed professional chef, and they end up having dog shit takes still.
Well,
Why?
hey,
If
I
you're a
have
professional,
nothing
hold on,
to
hold
prove
on,
to
hold on.
you.
Just because you're a professional chef doesn't mean you have good food takes. It still sounds like your food comes with a toy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, chicken bacon ranch pizza. Come on, dude.
Sure, it's like, I mean, chicken bacon ranch pizza. Sure, it's fun. To me, it just sounds like a sandwich, but I don't know. These fucking pizza anarchists, they can throw anything on round bread and call it a fucking pizza.
Well, have you ever
It's
tried
like-
it?
Is it a sandwich or a
Yes, I've
salad?
tried chicken bacon ranch pizza.
And
Yeah,
your
I think
thoughts?
it's at Domino's.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's like, it's not great. It's not amazing. It's not like I've ever eaten like a chicken bacon ranch pizza and like, this is the best pizza I've ever had. Like,
How about you do real sauce and not use mayonnaise? Just saying.
wait, what'd you say, Geek?
How about you use a real sauce and not use just like mayonnaise? Because that's what sauce like ranch sauce is. It's just mayonnaise like slightly modified. That's it. Do your real sauce,
Not really.
like creme
Not
fraiche
really.
and shit.
In West Virginia, we call it
I
hillbilly
can't now.
gravy.
Yeah, I can't let you get away with that, geek. There is no correlation that can include Duke's mayonnaise. Okay, Duke's mayonnaise is by far the best mayonnaise on the fucking market. If you haven't had Duke's, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Duke's is where it's at. Now, the only question I got for you, Trix, is on this 6-year-old menu, right? Is there like turnip greens, right? Is there chicken fried steak? Right, we got some motherfucking.
I'm hearing fried chicken. I'm hearing a lot of very
I'm
childish
just.
things.
Thank you.
So food in general is a childish thing to you, right? Right. So the only thing that I can learn from this, right, is that obviously if you're going to be an adult in Australia, you've got to eat fucking Vegemite, right? I don't know how to
I don't like Vegemite.
But you know what? It's a part of your country though, so that right there, right? So you don't like.
There's
so
a lot
obviously,
of your country that I could bring up.
obviously in your country, you're on a 6-year-old menu too. So welcome to the kiddie table. There you go.
You hold on. I'm not gonna take heat from someone who just advocated for mayonnaise. You have the most vanilla palate.
A specific brand of mayonnaise, yes, because not all mayonnaises are the same.
Mayonnaise. Also, the problem is that mayonnaise is like the most versatile topping on the planet. You could add anything into mayonnaise and make some kind of delicious topping.
True.
I feel like
no.
Do you add it to CTV or do you just have it plain?
Gross, yes.
Don't
Sorry.
slander
What did you
plain
say?
mayonnaise either, because plain mayonnaise is delicious.
It's just eggs. It's just eggs, oil, and then some acidy thing. Maybe a little, and whatever flavor you put in it.
You guys are really advocating for mayonnaise right now.
Like Chipotle mayo was like the best thing on the planet.
Okay, yeah, but you've added Chipotle to it. Mayonnaise on its own. No.
You couldn't make it. You couldn't get there
Bro,
without the mayonnaise.
no,
itself,
Trix, you're wrong. I go to Walmart, I buy a jar of mayo, and I just start scooping that shit out with a spoon, okay?
See, that's... No! Oh my god, you guys all have horrible food takes. Reams, can you back me up here?
I mean, so mayonnaise is one of those things I won't like not eat if I don't think mayonnaise makes anything better. I don't think it makes anything worse. Well, some things it probably makes worse. It definitely doesn't make anything better unless you add something else to it, like you guys are saying. Like, if I have mayonnaise, I'll mix it with some like sriracha or put on sushi. Or, what is it?
Capers and
Some
lemon juice.
stuff.
Nice little.
Mayonnaise.
But you wouldn't have it on its own.
No. Then you're just eating lard. You're just eating like
There we go.
oil. I don't know, oil and milk. I don't know, not a fan.
I just want to point out that the topic of conversation is in fact pizza, right? Don't let Geek and his masterful ways of infiltrating your mind get you distracted with the conversation of mayonnaise. I myself was initially duped, right, in this this ploy. I just want to make sure we point it out to everybody. The topic is in fact pizza, right? And so far, CTV has the best take out of everybody. I don't know what to tell you, right? Montreal's coming in second. We've got joysticks and bars and joysticks over here. He's coming in third. And then Honest Research, of course, and Vlop, and then mine is Z, right? And at the very bottom, it's like a tie spot between Freems and Trix. I don't know.
Trix
what.
At the bottom.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Good thing. Wait. Genuine question for CTV. Genuine question.
Good thing CTV's ranking doesn't mean fuck all to me. Because if you go by my ranking, it's me and Trix, right there near the top. And then everyone else, it's kind of just gone through one and out of the other because it's just all starting to blend together in like this weird. I eat like a 6-year-old Voltron. You guys all came together.
Okay, hold on. Just back to Danabo, who's just posted the question in chat again. I'm just still hung up on the crust. Who the fuck eats crust?
Wait,
Who
what?
enjoys crust?
Are you shitting me? You don't know about stuffed crust?
Eats crust.
Stuffed is just no, I'm not even gonna discuss
Hold on. Whoa. How is stuffed crust any different than a motherfucking breadstick with cheese in it?
Who the fuck eats breadsticks with cheese in it?
Like bread.
Why wouldn't you eat breadsticks with cheese in it? Are you shitting me?
Okay, my thing is, if you're eating a pizza, you're eating it for the ingredients. You're not. If you wanted to eat bread, you just go get bread.
No, you're not wrong. Wait, how do you explain to me how you
up.
eat a pizza? How do you eat a pizza?
Yeah, how do you eat a pizza?
How do I eat? I cut it and then I eat it from the tip down.
What
too,
the
and then I
fuck?
Wait, with a fork and everything?
Bread?
No, what? You cut a pizza is a fucking
she sliced
circle.
it into slices, guys.
Oh,
Come
okay.
on.
call it
follow.
bread.
Holy shit.
Whereas it,
And then you eat it
it's
from
just a
like the
pizza
tip of the
mushroom
triangle, and
pate.
but I don't eat the crust because I'm not gonna fill up on bread when I've put all these incredible ingredients on it.
That's
yeah, but the
wait.
crust is also what's underneath the pizza tricks. Like, that's all the
Oh,
crust.
That's
That's
the
what they're-
base.
You need to stop like
it's
half an
not
inch
the same
away
thing
from
as
the
the
crust,
crust.
and then eat it.
If it's not there, it's not a pizza. It's just like a ingredient salad.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, you think of the crust of just being the end piece that does everything on
Yeah,
it.
the
They're
rim.
referring to the crust as the whole thing.
Do we accept my
Liberals,
differentiation
am I right?
between the two? Do we accept my differentiation
Fuck the
between the
libs,
two?
you're right.
Yeah,
What was your differentiation?
The
Dough is
crust at
crust
the
and
end, like
crust
the
is
tip
dough.
of the crust, if you will, versus like the underneath of the pizza.
Underneath, I'm calling the base.
Yeah, but it's still
Okay,
part of
but
the crust. You don't
sometimes
No, I
the-
know, Morgan.
Yeah,
Let me
but
clear
a
this
pizza
up. We
doesn't
can- we
have
can
to
clear
have
this
like
up
a
really
full
easy.
I
crust
thought
on the end.
They were saying like
Tricks.
cut
Whether we-
like the crust and
Let me.
then go
I
down
feel like
from
we
there. I
could
was
we
like,
could come
what?
together here, real easy. Tricks. If you were okay, let's say that the underneath is the crust. Okay, actually, how about this? How important is the base?
Very
Um,
important.
Yeah.
As long as it's not doughy, just leave it plain. Don't try and fuck with it by adding in fancy shit.
No, exactly. The crust has to be good. Right? The crust has to be good, or else it's just like
The base has to be very basic. I'm not eating a pizza for the base and the crust. I'm not eating a pizza for the bread. I'm eating it for what goes on it.
Well, you can't
bread
get
can
any
be a
more
very
basic
important
than say like tree
component.
bark. You want to eat a pizza with fucking tree bark?
What?
Yeah.
I'm talking about dough. I don't know, CTV, what point you're trying to
Yeah,
get
but you can
across.
make
It's not
dough
really
taste
like-
better.
Maybe in Australia they eat tree bark pizzas, but I guess we're just backward here in America.
No, okay. I'm
got
talking
New York
like
pizza, it's
basic
the
dough.
best.
Like people add in like different flavors and shit to the base and try and spice it up. I personally think that you eat a pizza for the ingredients you put on top of it. You don't go, damn, I'm really hungry for pizza. Love me that fancy base.
Yeah, but if you have a shit
You eat
base,
tree
then your
bark
pizza is
pizzas.
shit.
Of course you hate the crust. Wow, this is what's going on.
You don't eat a pizza for the dough. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
she's
you don't eat a
100%
pizza
right.
because you
Like,
want a certain base.
I think
There's
something
but if
nothing
the base
fancy
is-
about the
is, like,
base. You eat it
mild.
for the
Homemade
ingredients.
base, clearly.
Okay, so when you guys go to buy pizza, say you're ordering it online, and you go, oh, damn, we've got pepperoni, we've got this, and that. Like, just most basic form of pizza. You're getting the fucking, like, flavors and shit.
No,
you
no,
go,
I
okay,
home make pizza.
I want,
homemade
I
pizza.
want
There's
to,
no-
okay, you're putting together a pizza, and you're like, damn, here's the ingredients on top. Are you eating the pizza for the ingredients on top, or are you eating it because you're like, oh, I'm really hungry for some pizza base right now. Some really good cooked
Both.
dough.
Tricks, that's like the whole experience. So if you have like a garlic parmesan base of the crust, it's like a great sauce plus the cheese
Yeah.
that's perfect and the toppings
Quality
on top.
bread.
Oh, my
It's a
Yeah.
holistic experience. It's not just the one
Quality
thing on top.
bread is good.
And to add to that, it's not just right the different flavors, right? It's also right. You could have thin crust, right? You could have motherfucking deep dish, right? You could have motherfucking stuffed crust. You can have pan. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different type of crust, right? That you can put the pizza toppings onto. So like, I didn't realize we were going to have to get this so far into the nuance of the actual pizza, because since we're only supposed to be discussing the toppings, but apparently, right? Tree bark.
Yeah,
Apparently,
the crust is
tree.
in there.
Look at all
So
these
the crust
different
is in
crust
there.
options from
And the
Domino's.
question.
Yeah, so
Look
so
at
it's
all of them.
obvious to me,
Going
right,
back to
that
Domino's.
that, like,
Domino's is relevant when it comes to pizza.
What'd you just say?
What did you say? I didn't hear the beginning, my Dozy.
see, that's what happens whenever people are trying to talk over one another, and somebody
stop
doesn't get
that.
hurt, then nobody gets fucking heard. You see what happened there?
Okay, my Dozy, go.
Domino's is irrelevant when it comes to pizza. They are the worst pizza ever.
Yeah, they still have 5 different options, so a good place must have more.
No, usually like a good pizza restaurant, they're not gonna have crust options.
Yeah.
Like you go there because of the
They're
crust. But I
wrong.
do want to say, I would rather have a mediocre crust than a mediocre sauce. When I sit here and
True.
think about it,
True.
like 100%, I feel like the sauce is far more important. Danabo also made me lie about that, and if you think I'm lying, go look at our last debate on pizza on Danabo's YouTube. You can hear my original thoughts when we originally had this topic. So,
Morgan,
yeah,
we are the
you're
two
wrong.
least
the
qualified
sauce
people
is
to
more
talk on
most
food.
important. What do you
I'm
say,
so
Geek?
lost in
What
this
say you?
conversation.
No, I agree with you. It's like the crust people
just gonna go fuck with
who are,
people in
like,
their chat.
who are wrong.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
a sauce
ironically,
boss. Okay.
Sauce Boss too.
Unless you really fuck up the dough, there's no way that like you're gonna like send a pizza because the dough isn't really great or isn't like. There's not really like many ways. Like either you undercook it or you overcook it, but like besides that, like the dough is going to be the dough. That's what's on it that matters.
No one bites into a pizza and goes, "Oh my god, the base is the best part of this."
No, I disagree with that, but
Yeah, I disagree with that too.
So you have a pizza, you have all your favorite toppings on it, and you eat it, and you go, "You know what? I'd say the highlight of that was the fucking bread underneath."
So if you're eating like a real, sorry, CTV, go ahead.
Yeah, this just sounds like bread oppression now, right? I don't look. The fact of the matter is that if bread wasn't as good as it was, right, then we wouldn't have fucking all you can eat breadsticks at motherfucking Olive Garden, okay? So the fact of the matter is that fucking bread is good, right? It's a very, very, I would argue, probably the most important part of the pizza, because without a good fucking crust, you are really literally eating toppings on tree bark.
I'm gonna make a drinking
Where the
game.
fuck have you gotten tree bark from?
I'm gonna make a drinking game where
dish.
I take a shot every time CTV says "fact of the matter is" and then says something subjective. I'd be hammered right now.
CTV be like, "Here's a fact. I'm currently winning." All right, good
Always
for you, buddy.
winning.
Good for
I'm
you,
always
buddy.
fucking winning. I don't know what to tell you.
Literally a fucking child. I've never seen a more disingenuous debater in my life.
Really? Wow.
I thought he's kind of the best debater on Twitch.
So all I'm hearing right now is I'm gonna cry a little bit because I'm losing. Obviously, crust is fucking base, and I just don't want to admit it.
To you?
You look a little upset.
Oh my
look at that look. That look right there just said, you know I'm upset, motherfucker. I'm coming for you.
Okay, but my thing is, why? Okay, it's like when places give you, like, okay, everyone can talk about Olive Garden bread or whatever. When places give you bread before you eat, it's because they're trying to fill you up. Crust is just like especially like the end bit. If you eat that, you're just like filling up, and you could be using that energy on eating more of the actual pizza.
What if you have a chipping sauce for the
though.
crust?
It ties it all together right at the end.
Hold on, someone said dipping sauce for the crust?
Yeah, I usually buy an
I've
extra
never
thing of
heard of this.
marinara and I use it for the crust.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Free breadsticks.
Prove that the crust isn't enough in itself. Thank
Wait,
you,
okay.
I respect
Whoa,
you.
whoa, whoa! Just because you put marinara on something doesn't make it not crust, okay? It's still my favorite part of eating the pizza.
Yeah, so Tricks, like
That's
seriously,
not enough
maybe
in itself. You need a dip.
Yeah, Tricks.
People are buying all this stuff prefab from the store. Make your own food. I'm an elitist. I love making my own food, and it's so much better than your food.
Actually,
so much better
back
than
that
all
hard.
your food.
Back that up too.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's so much better to make your own homemade pizza. 100%.
But it just docks us, babe.
Part of the appeal of pizza is
I do want
its mileage. Like how far you can make a pizza last. Like if you can make a pizza last you 2 meals, that's freaking awesome. It doesn't have to be just one meal. It can be like it can be the cold pizza in the morning, you know?
Yeah, you're talking about that struggle pizza. I get it. I'm there
The
too.
Domino's,
Sometimes I have to go for some struggle pizza. Actually, often. So I get that
Pizza is
too.
better when it's breakfast.
No.
Pizza is always better the next day when you like reheat it for breakfast. That's
Hey,
my
whatever-
like
whatever-
last day.
It has
Whatever-
the sweet taste of you don't
That
have to
and
make
Chinese
it.
food. What I want to try is like a Chinese food pizza. I want to have like an orange chicken pizza.
Just
where,
make
like,
it.
Good.
Yeah, I need to do
yeah.
that. I need to. That's such
Yeah,
a good
it'd be-
idea.
Sows as the base sauce.
We're like
General
yeah,
Tao
like
chicken
orange.
pizza.
Wait, what's your
Yeah,
name?
orange
Bars and
sauce?
Joysticks. I'll send you something. There is a Chinese food pizza.
There's a Chinese food pizza that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oh my god,
Um,
crab rangoon crust.
Damn.
That'll probably kill you by the end of
Yeah,
it.
so-
Like a
so
big
Trick.
fried crust.
That's mileage. It's the last meal you'll ever have.
So Trick, seriously, you're not familiar with breadsticks and marinara sauce or garlic sauce or
I am
anything like
incredibly
that?
familiar with sauces, and I'm incredibly familiar with breadsticks. But the idea of someone finishing a pizza and then like having the crust left, like the end bit, and going, yeah, I'm gonna eat this dipped in something else, also kind of shows that it's not good on its own, and it's kind of shitty unless you add something to it.
You know what? This is exactly. I'm glad that you said this specifically because this is what this tells me, right? On like, there's no way that I could ever take you serious on a take when it comes to efficiency, then, right? Because it's obvious that at the point where you're taking the crust, the end of the crust, right, and you dip it into something else and you continue to eat it, right? You're being the most efficient that you can with the limited amount of resources that the world has, instead of just putting it in a trash can and throwing it away.
You're
and
not even listening to me.
I am listening to you. You said you don't eat the crust.
No, I said, if you take pizza crust and you dip it in something else, that shows that pizza crust on its own can't be that good. So you have to
But
add
you
to
said
it
you don't
to
need
make
pizza
it
crust,
palatable.
though.
Yeah, but I'm saying if other people have to add
Yeah,
to
but
it.
you don't.
Isn't the whole point of pizza to
No.
add things to it?
So
Yeah,
that's
but if
what
you've
I'm
already,
saying.
if you've already finished it and you've already
toppings with the
cooked it,
crust.
if you already finished it, okay, if you have finished your pizza and you're done with it, and then you get to the shitty end bit and you go, damn, the only way that I can eat this right now is if I dip it in something. That shows that it's not that good.
You still dip regular breadsticks into something. I fail
Yeah, are
to
you
see
trying to
how
say breadsticks
he
aren't
did-
good?
Good, but you know, I could put some butter on
Breadsticks
it.
on their own, bread on its
All right,
own.
all right. All right. I think the crust eaters have showed that like they're not like up to the debate, so we're going to wrap it up. And we're
I feel
going
like I
to
should
start
bully
by. So
Tricks
first
in
of all,
my
before
closing.
we go into closing statement, thank you to all of you for being here. I had a blast hosting this show. Hope you enjoyed being here. And yeah, for everyone in everyone's chat, go follow a wonderful guest. You know, they deserve it. Go check people's content, like outside of panels. Panels are one thing. Go see their solo content. You'll discover another side of them. So yeah, yeah. The links are in my chat. I don't know for everyone, but yeah. So let's go into closing statement and also give yourself a shout out. Tell people where they can find you, who you are, you know, and everything. And we're going to start with Tricks.
Look, it'd be good if I could just lead it off.
Oh, okay. CTV, go ahead.
Thank you. So I want to thank everybody for showing up here tonight and being a part of the Hippy Dippy Recruitment Show, right? You've all shown a lot of character and a lot of ability to be able to be in tenseful situations and have some tense arguments, right? Because that's exactly what we've been doing tonight, and we've been having a lot of fun doing it. So thank you for being here. All of your links have been being shouted out in my chat as well at the same time. And if you've got anything you want to add to that, please feel free to do so, right? No reason for me to address like the last topic because obviously I was the most based in the room. So that said, thank you for being here. And Geek, take it away.
All right, Shiggs, go ahead. Closing statement and shout out.
I don't need a closing statement. I think I spoke the most out of everyone. But I will say that I finally got my internet fixed after about a year, and I finally moved into my new place, so I am going to be streaming
Australian
again.
internet.
And I'm pretty much
Am I
Twitch
right?
Switch absolutely everywhere. And I don't really have anything particular to plug other than I'm very cool. And I'm going to pull a CTV and say, actually, guys, fact of the matter is, I won and you all lost. This is fact because I'm saying it.
Based. It is now a fact. Volt, go ahead.
I just wanted to say thanks for having me on here. This has been an awesome opportunity. I've been watching Hippy Dippies for a long time, and it's super cool to be on a panel with some of the people I see. But Pizza Take, I will see that the sauce is relatively important, but saying that it's the most important immediately takes off the table any kind of pizza that's not tomato sauce based, which I'm not okay with. And you can find me at Hoodie Volp on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I just got back into streaming recently, so I'm gonna be going live pretty frequently. So come hang out. I like to talk politics, play some video games, drop some absolutely base takes, and that's it.
All right. I'm going to throw it to Buzz and Joysticks.
Hey guys, this is Bars and Joysticks. I'm talking John from that channel, Bars and Joysticks.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I am on Twitch as Bars and Joysticks as well as YouTube as Bars and Joysticks. Not only do we do politics and debate, but we also do hip hop commentary. So if you guys like music of all sorts, particularly hip hop, then let's run it that way. We also do joysticks like video game joysticks. My channel mate Paco is actually talking quite a bit about the new Steam Deck console. So that's going good, and yeah, we'd love to have you over. I'm the least cool of all the guys on the channel. Everyone's fucking cool, but I'm the ambassador, so sign it up. Go to the channels. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, happy to have you on board. Honest research.
I just want to say, like, I zoned out at one point and just thought it was crazy because I realized, oh wait, I'm not just listening to this, I'm actually on it. Like that just like was so fun to me. But also I had a really good time tonight, and I just want to say, no matter left or right, show respect to each other. because we all have a common enemy, and it's the Australians. Thank you. Good night.
True. Montreal player.
Where did I start? 19 years ago, I knocked up my girlfriend. 4 kids.
Damn, that's where he's
later,
starting.
Had a few
Oh,
laughs,
I probably should have mentioned my charity.
Made some money. Now I stream on Twitch and I talk to.
I was just so excited to dunk
for an
that.
hour a
Forgot
day.
to mention my
9:30 to
charity.
11 on some weekdays. It's a hobby.
Not
I
that
do.
we
I come
need
smoke
money
this
right now,
joint.
though, we're good.
We have a nice, good faith conversation. I can speak from experience on parenting, building a business, getting jobs, software development, and that's it. All the rest, I'm just kind of bullshitting my opinion. But if you have questions about those things, or you like good faith conversations with some of your favorite Twitch streamers, visit me at twitch.tv/Montreal Player. Some weeknights, 9:30 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you on. Mind of Z, go ahead.
I am the Mind of Z. And you can come check me out if you want a civil conversation. Come to the Mind of Z, where I do gaming. If you want to talk about politics, come to my other channel called the U.S. Political Server, which I stream off of, which I'm currently streaming right now. Twitter is also U.S. Political Server, and if you want the Discord link, just come into my chat or DM me on Discord. Yeah.
All right, thank you for being here. Frames.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Freems. I'm a lefty from Appalachia. Although I'm thinking about becoming a conservative, not because I believe in what they have to say, but because I want on more panels. Also, Bob Saget died, so rest in peace, Bob Saget.
Yeah, dude.
It's a bummer. If you're only 90s kids will understand. I'm just kidding. Anyways, thanks for having me on. And also, I am actually the most base person on this panel right now, so
Yeah,
needed a
but
correction
you
in there.
didn't say.
Yeah, you didn't say the fact of the matter, so clearly you're fucking wrong, Freems. You're just
No, I
fucking
don't
wrong.
listen. I don't have to say when it's the fact of the matter because everything I say is the fact of the matter. All right.
Except you're from West Virginia. You're from West Virginia. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Which just shows how much more I had to overcome than everyone else.
You say that, but you probably found yourself on the McCoy and not the Hatfield side of the argument. Okay.
I actually am. Devil Ants Hatfield is my four-time great uncle. I'm actually from Mingo County.
I'm not convinced, Frames.
Okay.
Listen, never mind. I almost made a bad West Virginia joke. I was about to say we're all related but I'm from Mingo County, and everyone down there is kind of related. So that's how that happened.
Then you wonder how the reputation happens, right? So,
CTV, you're the last one, so yeah, take it home.
Outstanding. So everybody, you can find me hanging out over in the Infinity Acre Wood. That's the name of the Discord I facilitate. We've got a lot of great people in the community. Every single one of you on this panel, I think, are a part of it. And anybody that's in the audience, you want to be a part of it, come over to the channel, hit !IAW, and jump right in. On Wednesday nights, we host a show that actually was born on New Year's night with Geek, Danabo, and Dylan all in the room, called Marvel Me With Your Bullshit or Be Disconnected. Anybody that wants to jump in on it, you jump into the waiting room. I bring you into the room. I put a poll in the chat, and the chat decides you got 5 or 10 minutes, right, depending on how many people are in the waiting room, to marvel the chat with your bullshit or be disconnected. We've done it twice now. It's been fucking a hell of a lot of fun each time. We've got people now coming in and kind of, it's almost kind of turned into a talent show, if you will. Just a lot of different, people showing up to have fun with it. It's been a lot of fun to host. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you're hitting up Geek and Danabo, following their channel, because there's a lot of work that they both put in behind the scenes to help coordinate all these things. You can still, I think, go to Shell Shock CBD, right, and type in code Danabo and get 10% off there, right? And Freems, I see your hand. It looks very West Virginia like, and it's raising. So what's up?
I just want to say, people in my chat are saying the link to Tricks is wrong. So
Okay, what's
Wow.
If
the?
that's something y'all wanted to fix or something, just letting you know.
Absolutely.
Blame Danabo.
Damn it, Danabo.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
We're going
anyway,
to
thanks
fix
for.
that.
Yeah, thanks
go
for
ahead.
coming. Yeah, thanks for coming in
Ahoy.
here tonight and being a part of the
Works for
conversation.
me.
If anybody in the audience that's out there that wants to come in and try to be a part of the Hippy Dippy world that we're facilitating here specifically, right? Let Danabo know that you are
Appreciate you,
interested. Make sure
Danabo.
you've got a good working cam and a microphone, and you too can be a part of these discussions.
Oh, thank you.
Hell
thank
yeah.
you.
And that concludes this episode of the Hippy Dippy Recruitment.
did it again!
Thank you everyone for being here. Real quick, honest research. Are you going to stream for a while?
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming for a little bit.
All right, perfect. You get the rate.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
the Discord is
Appreciate that.
open. Feel free to stay here and everything. I'm going to say goodnight to my chat and yeah.
Yep.
Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining
Bye,
us.
everyone.
And
Thanks again.
Thank
See
you.
you
Nice
around.
meeting everyone.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure meeting everybody.
Damn. Well, pressure. Y'all are here. Should probably get my thoughts on how I actually felt about how I did, because that was obviously my first live debate. I've never actually talked to people. Sorry, I'm trying to find my camera group. Oh, I don't have a camera group? Oh no, this is the camera group. Okay, wait. Ignore that goal. We already completed it. Why is my camera frozen now? There's no camera over here. But yeah, essentially... God damn it. I'm gonna crash my OBS, aren't I? Whatever. We're not gonna play with it. What if I go here? I swear, I'm not technologically inept. God. So... I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to talk about the Twitch copyright stuff, because I bet I'm probably, like, the most copyright positive person. Like, I hear pretty much every single streamer talk about it, and I'm just like, as someone who wants to professionally write and create, it really sucks. It sucks hearing that some people are just like, oh, screw you, we're changing it just by commentating on your content, which that just seems ridiculous to me, that something I can work so hard for can just be taken by somebody else. And I think that even on, like, YouTube level, honestly, like, if someone is streaming your stream, if someone starts taking your clips and stuff, and they're saying shit out of context, like, 100%, you have the right to strike them down. Don't let the pizza topic distract you from the shit takes of the main one. Oh my god, yeah. I just think it's really funny that we asked for a number so many times, and then the Spanish flu is the example, and I say, okay, but this has killed more people across the U.S. than the Spanish flu. Are we... Does that mean we should at least have all the policy positions that were in place then? Are we talking React channels? We are talking React channel tricks. Yeah, I hate them. I can't stand them. I actually, you know what? Let me rephrase this. I don't mind them, but the moment that they get claimed, where's the camera? I don't know. My camera's not working now. Like, it's stuck on this frame. I look so goofy. Let me see if I can get it working. But the moment, I'm gonna undo this, and then my Twitch is gonna... Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Fuck. Alright, hold on. But yeah, like, the moment we got him to agree, bottom of the barrel content. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. And, hey, there we go. Give myself the frame, too. Maybe actually just kidding, but some of the... I don't... like, the moment Montreal was, like, 500. I mean, is 500 lives valuable to you? Yes, that's... But, honestly, no. Like, if we're talking 500 people dead, I'm not asking for fucking mandates. 52,000 people, on average, die a year to the flu. So, by yourself and turn on your camera? I could have done that. That's a good idea. But 52,000 people a year die to the flu, right? On average, we had 62,000 on the highest estimates from the CDC in the 2019-2020 season. Like, no, I'm not asking for mandates for that. You know what? Fuck it. Like, 150, 200,000 people dead in the U.S., I probably still wouldn't be asking for mandates. But once you get 300,000 a year and above, that starts getting kind of yikesy to me, dude. Once it starts heavily affecting our GDP, and when we were literally getting laughed at the UN, everyone was like, yeah, but look at our GDP. We're still a world power. Yeah, well, we're losing that because we can't even deal with freaking COVID as well as some places like Australia. And I don't know. So, like, I just gave you credit, Tricks, alright? Wild. I appreciate everyone who's still listening. I don't think there's really that much more I wanted to say on the vaccine stuff. I think I got actually, something I was sad I didn't get to bring up. Let me see if I can bring this over. So, just so you guys know, this is why my name's Honest Research. Every single sentence you see is highlighted yellow, has a direct link. Usually I try to go CDC or FDA type shit, but I will say I am happy no one disputed the numbers. That was cool. The potential of false reporting, I didn't have to bring that up because no one disputed the numbers. Sweet. No one brought up that they distrust the mRNA. I think, and like I said, I'm pretty and it gets just, well, in America, look, I live in America. America's important to me, alright? I think Montreal started to bring up, like, some doubts of the CDC and things like that, and I'm like, nope, we're shutting this shit down, and I think it got shut down pretty quickly. We didn't get to talk about excess mortality as much as I would have liked, but again, that's kind of a good thing, because that means no one debated the numbers. No. So, that's good. Insider trading within Congress. I don't even know why I have that in here, to be honest with you. I'm gonna move this way, sorry. Vaccine mandates. This is what we're talking about. I did actually get to use this section a bit, obviously. Thank God I didn't have to bring this up. Like, Jesus. Natural and waning immunity. Yeah, oh, we didn't talk about the new recommendations from the CDC. Panels are because we try and talk about countries and situations in general. Yeah. Yeah, sure, Dana, but that would be so cool, dude. Like I said, I really appreciate it, and I had a really good time. We didn't get to talk about this, because it seemed like everyone was pretty much in agreement on how masks work. Like, yeah, it's for thee, not for me, blah, 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 blah. But I did send it to the chat, because some guy was like, masks don't work, and I was like, do with this what you will. Terminology. Okay. I thought this was really funny because I started doing research last night. I'm like, all right, let's just make sure I really know my crap. And I didn't know that's what the PCR stood for. I didn't know BioNTech and the Pfizer were the same thing. And a couple other things. And then the guidelines. Yeah, we didn't talk about the new guidelines as much as I would have liked to. But I think it's because we're not being completely America-centric because we had a couple people outside the country. So. Myocarditis. I'm shocked this didn't come up because I feel like this would be a genuine concern for people, but I think I might actually get like a section on copyright law then. Might start looking into that because I feel like every time I take the time to actually learn about copyright law, because obviously like I said, I'm a writer and I'm a creator. Like I heavily value copyright. Every time I try to learn about it, like a year later, something changes with it because obviously there are lots of people who value their copyright very highly, and not saying that like Disney is lobbying Congress, but like, you know, Disney has some sway and stuff, and I'm not saying whether or not that's even a bad thing. Quite frankly, I haven't thought about it enough to know, but I do hold copyright in a very high regard. So yeah, I'm a little sad we didn't talk about this, but because then again, there's only like one thing on here that I kind of don't like. So who does not need quarantine? If you have had a confirmed COVID-19 within the last 90 days, you tested positively using a viral test. Because the logic is you have natural immunization. But CDC, on your own website, you say that most people lose that natural immunity after 60 days. So this contradicts what you have on your own website. So, people stealing my Bumble cats? Who's stealing your Bumble cats? What? Yeah. I also didn't know this. I thought it was a little weird that Montreal was like mentioning that a 6-year-old wasn't vaccinated. I guess I should have questioned that. Maybe that would have been a good idea, because it would have let me understand his stance a little bit more. They're my $1 million idea. Who's stealing your Bumble cats? Hi Cortana, how you doing? Yeah. Canada, different laws maybe. That is true, but let's face it. Come on, everyone follows America. How young? COVID wasn't anything NSFW in that chat or in that bar. How young can you be to get the COVID vaccine in Canada? Canada. Canada. How young can you be? So I want to get my friend's takes. How young can they be in Canada, though? Yeah, 5 to 11. No, it's still 5 to 11. Pfizer. Yeah. Does seem to be that it's 5 and up most places. But I was trying not to bring up Trump and bring up this stuff. I was trying to avoid that as much as possible because I wanted it to become a partisan thing. He said his teenagers had the vaccine, so maybe he let them choose. I think he said he was vaxxed, didn't he? But yeah, do you just let your children decide? Honestly, here's my take. I would let my children decide. Let them think it's their decision. Let them come to their own conclusions. In the end, I'm going to make sure that they get it. But like, because I believe their conclusion, if they're listening to the right people, it's probably going to be vaccinated. And if my children decide they don't want to be vaccinated, I failed as a parent. Oh, you're here.
Yeah.
What's up?
I was just letting you talk to your stream. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, that's not good. What'd you think?
I
was not expecting the Bulbasaur topic, so
I wasn't either. And
I wasn't
was
ready to cite
perfect.
my sources for that, you know?
It had to be Pokemon for the first question.
Specifically Bulbasaur.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, it
both
was
your parents tried to
interesting.
stop your brother? I thought it was just your dad. So, Bob Saget.
Poor man.
Yeah, no. I hear he was actually kind of a dick, though.
Yeah, most celebrities are.
Yeah.
Most, not all of them, but there are a few diamonds in there that are amazing.
Love that you had 2 of them ready to go. Oh my god, you know what else I should have brought up? I fucking got my booster today. I should have brought that up. Just to see if that would have, like, enticed any other conversation. I specifically got it because I'm like, I can't go on a panel and be pro-vax and not have gotten my booster, you know?
Yo, 14
Morgan,
people?
go
Hell
fuck
yeah.
yourself. Is there still 14 people?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez, that's pressure, dude. It's
Yo, you put on a good show. People
It's only
like
Tricks and Mojam in the chat, though. And honestly, I want to go play some Phasmo with you, though. Yo,
Oh, God.
Trick. Wait, oh yeah, you're intoxicated, aren't you?
A little bit, yeah.
It's okay. I got some stuff in here too, Tyler, and I've already had a bottle of it.
Listen, there's this fucking, old smoky moonshine. I just took a shot of that, and that shit fucked me.
Is that the stuff you were talking about with Jordan?
Yeah.
Shit. Trix, it was cool to meet you. I've had a couple of people who sound like they're interested in having talks. I even had one person wants to actually talk about my charity, which is super dope. I was Trix, I was so ready to just dunk on you in Australia that I completely forgot to mention my charity or my channel in my outro, so at least feel good about that. What I did want to mention for anyone who was looking at it and is like looking at the PayPal, don't donate yet. A, I don't need money. B, I'm still working out a system to write receipts because I am actually filed as a 501c3 nonprofit organization or corporation. I'm one of those. Point is, I have a nonprofit tax stamp, and you can actually get a tax write-off in America if you donate. But I don't have a way of effectively making those receipts yet. But we're not really strapped on cash. Our first charity event is coming up in February. We're actually going to be downtown feeding the homeless, and I'm actually going to live stream it. So,
how sweet.
So thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night, and hope to catch you all some other time.
Have a good night, yo.
Oh, shout out! I'm like, who the fuck joined? Who was that? All right.
Yeah, I was in the other group, and because I had to go put my kid down quick, and
all good.
Yeah,
all
dude,
good.
I
Just a
fucking
little longer.
rage, dude.
All right, have a good night, yo.
Every time I turn
Is
the
it-
corner, I fire one bullet.